Hey everyone, welcome to the SnatchyBuckles weekly update, your source for nerdy news from the past week, covering video games, movies, television, and more. I'm your host Ben, and as always, I'm joined by the mad titan himself, Adam.
Thanos.
How's your week been so far?
I'm good.
You good? Are you good? You're trying to casually open a can there.
I'll try to casually do it as it came in.
As the lights came on, you're doing it in the dark.
I was like creeping.
We're opening cans now. That's on our end. There's no one opening cans behind you. If you're driving in your car, listen to this via podcast. If you're watching this live on twitch.tv/SnatchyBuckles, we thank you for coming and hanging out and watching live right now, getting your weekly dose of nerdy news. Exactly.
Not like it gets cut.
No, none of it gets cut.
There you go.
You get to see how it adapts every week and all that sort of stuff. And any mishaps. And maybe down the road we'll do like pre or post shows, like before we go live, just to chat with folks and stuff like that. But yeah, if you're watching this live, thank you very much for that. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, or just anything you want to say to us over the course of it, you can do so in chat. But if you want your message to definitely be read out by us, you can, of course, tip or cheer over the course of the stream. That goes to support us. We get them all as nice little messages that we can read out while we do our thank yous to anyone who supports the stream or the show by the end of it. If you're watching this on youtube.com/SnatchyBuckles or listening via podcast services around the globe, I flubbed that one, then thank you very much for doing that as well. But if you want to watch the show live, head on over to twitch.tv/SnatchyBuckles and click follow. It's as simple as that. And then you can come back for future shows and hang out with the community, because we've got a damn good community.
See the hijinks we get up to.
Exactly. See what happens live whenever we're making visual references. I know via podcast it's probably still quite informative, but you'll miss out on any trailers and stuff for watching.
With the absolute obscenity of fucking with me.
Yes, absolutely.
In any which way.
That's it. With all of our other streams over the course of the week. We stream 4 nights a week, every single week. But this is the SnatchyBuckles weekly update. It is the 8th of November 2018. I nearly called it December there. I was rushing towards Christmas.
Eager.
I was eager. I don't know if we've got any housekeeping for this week.
We don't have a
housekeeping graphic yet.
I've told you.
It's going to come up every time.
That's 3 peanuts, you owe.
I know, it is. It is. You can keep track. You guys at home can keep track. Anyone that's missed what the peanuts is, I'm not going to explain, and we'll leave it at that. But yeah, I don't know if there's any housekeeping. We've got a good handful of things that we can't really talk about. So yeah, we'll leave it at that pretty much. There's nothing else to really discuss.
How you been? That's housekeeping.
I've been good. I don't usually go into detail on this. I don't do the whole like posting on Facebook all the time, but I'm feeling pretty good. I'm wearing a jumper that like 3 months ago I would have looked like the Hulk mid-transformation. And now it actually fits quite comfortably.
Maybe that's what floats people.
I mean, that might be what people want. We are a nerdy news show, so the Hulk is definitely on theme. But yeah, no, that makes me feel pretty good. It's nice when you put something on and you're like, oh, that's cool. It fits now. But yeah, other than that, it's been good. It's been a good week. Lots of good news to get through. Lots of gaming news to get through. Should we head into the gaming update?
Have you got a graphic?
I've got a graphic for the gaming update. Play it. So we are in the gaming update portion of the show, and I've made the mistake of closing my Trello. So I'm falling behind you, but I just
lost my screen for a moment.
You lost your screen for a moment. That's worrying. Yeah, we are in the gaming update. There's lots of things happening this week. It was Blizzcon this past weekend. I think most of the announcements happened on Friday. That was the keynote sort of thing.
Yeah, that was because I completely forgot it was on.
Yeah, it started just playing. I was just like, oh, I got a notification. I think I follow Blizzard on Twitch, which is handy. See, following people on Twitch gets you notifications.
Unless you have smart notifications.
And then you might or might not get them. Yeah, you got to be careful with that one. The first one, we'll jump into the elephant in the room. The big demonic elephant in the room. Diablo Immortal was announced at BlizzCon and was met. I can't even say mixed response. It was
hardcore
almost
players.
Yes,
hate it.
Yes, very much hate it. We'll go through the news bits of it first, and the actual the facts, and then we'll give our opinions on that sort of stuff, as we always do. So Blizzard announced the new title Diablo to the Diablo franchise at BlizzCon this past weekend. Diablo Immortal is a mobile-only title in the franchise, the first mobile-only title. It takes place between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3's story. It's not being made by Blizzard. Instead, it's being made by NetEase, which is a Chinese company that Blizzard license a lot of their properties to. They operate the properties, so I think they manage all of the like Chinese Diablo servers and World of Warcraft servers and things like that. They manage all that, so they've got a strong relationship with Blizzard already, but they're the ones that are actually making this game. So the game announcement dropped. They uploaded the YouTube video of the announcement trailer and all that sort of stuff. And at this point, when I did my research a few hours ago, it was sitting at 4 million views with 536,000 dislikes. That's a lot of dislikes. There's a lot of dislikes. Are you opening the trailer up now?
You can play in the
You
background.
can play in the background. We'll go a little pip. But yeah, so
I don't know if it's got.
we'll just leave the audio off. We don't need any
Goodbye,
audio.
audio. You have
So there it is. That is NetEase are the developers of it. They're developing it. So it wasn't met with a very warm response at BlizzCon, or around the globe for that matter. I'll immediately, before we go into our full opinions, I will preface it by saying Blizzard put out a post on their website a few weeks ago that said everyone's expecting something. We are working on multiple Diablo titles, but please, like, hold your expectations. You're probably going to be disappointed if you're going in expecting what you're expecting.
And I think everybody was expecting that they would hear at least more than one Diablo.
One. Yes, that was a big misstep. What are your thoughts on it straight off the bat before I go
I haven't seen I've seen a little bit glimpses of the trailer.
Okay.
They've definitely fucked up how they revealed it. 100%. I feel like that, and along with it not being in-house Blizzard, has probably turned a lot of people off it as well.
Well, it didn't open with the NetEase bit either. This was only on the YouTube one. The actual trailer just started playing this. So your immediate thought is Diablo 4.
Yep.
Which it's not.
This looks like it would just be a straight up in-game, like, not in-game.
It's one of their fancy announcements.
Yeah, fancy announcement trailers, and you would go, oh, yeah, it's Diablo 4.
Yeah, absolutely. But it then turned out to be a mobile game. The community went mental. They were booed on stage for the first time in BlizzCon history. Not because obviously there'll be like jokingly boos in the past when someone will do something silly. This was like serious boos. And then there was the one this one just, it rubbed me the wrong way, but I know a lot of people found it funny, where they were actually during a Q&A they got trolled by someone asking if it was an April Fool's joke. My overall opinion, it was a huge misstep by Blizzard. They did the wrong way of doing this. You should at the very least,
even though they've said that there's multiple Blizzard
they have
Diablo titles and announced in the works.
Yes,
they should have at least announced Diablo 4 is still being worked on.
Just the picture of it, just the title image
Show
saying
me
Diablo 4.
D4.
Yeah, that's all they need.
That would have kept everybody happy.
Just literally just end the show on that.
Did it?
Well, both Fallout did it well. Fallout, I think we'd already knew that Fallout. Did they already do the announcement trailer, and then at their show they then showed the game off and announced Fallout Shelter? But this year they announced Elder Scrolls. This is just more Bethesda. They know how to do it. They announced Elder Scrolls Swords mobile
and then
game.
Said, here's the next Elder Scrolls.
Yeah,
here's
a little teaser that probably isn't even in game or anything like that, but it's just showing Elder Scrolls 6 is coming.
That's how it should be done. It's 100% how it should be done every single time. Because it keeps the
hardcore fans. So yeah, that's the misstep. I think that I don't like that people felt entitled to a Diablo 4, because you should never feel entitled to something that you have no input in making or doing or saying or any of that sort of stuff. Like, for example, I'm a really big Grand Theft Auto fan. Always have been. Love GTA. One of the first games that fully pulled me in, even as the top-down 2D as a kid, when I was way too young to be playing that.
That doesn't really have any gore in it.
It was just weird little ketchup splodges everywhere.
Man, spill these chips.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm a big fan of that. If Rockstar Games don't announce a GTA 6 anytime soon, I'm not going to keep going, where's GTA 6? I'm just going to be like, they know what they're doing. I'll let them get on with it. So, I don't know. Like, I never feel entitled to a GTA. I would like one, but I'm not entitled to it. In the same way as I'm a big Diablo fan. I never really got into Diablo 1, but I love Diablo 2, Diablo 3. I don't feel entitled to it. I'd love a Diablo 4.
Yeah, I don't feel entitled to it.
But it's the people that feel like they deserve a Diablo 4, and it's like, you don't deserve nothing.
That's like, imagine if Valve came to E3 next year and went, we're going to reboot Half-Life.
Or more so, they went, we're going to do a new Half-Life game, it's mobile only. There would probably be outcry to that as well. But it's that thing where people expect that they need it. So yeah, I disagree with that. But on the other hand, Blizzard did misstep. They did put a warning out and say, you're going to be disappointed.
But everybody took that as like them trying to calm the fire, because there was a lot of talks about Diablo 4
There was a lot of stuff.
And a lot of stuff has come out since.
There is a lot of stuff. I've got some extra details here that's happened since the actual announcement. First of all, there's been a lot of accusations flying around that Diablo Immortal is actually just a reskin of a free-to-play mobile game called Crusaders of Light. Interesting note, who do you think the developer of Crusaders of Light is?
NetEase.
It is made by NetEase. They have literally reskinned their game to look like Diablo.
That's a scummy move.
That's a little bit of a scummy move. So
that I was maybe like looking forward to being like, oh, it might have like cool Diablo mechanics.
Well, apparently it does, but the interface of the game, I don't know, I've already got rid of this. It's just the actual Crusader of Light. It looks very, very identical. Apparently, the Diablo game is going to be a lot more in keeping with Diablo. There's going to be the loot system is going to be very similar to Diablo, where it's all random and stuff, but there will be specific bosses that you go defeat and you always get the same loot, so it means everyone goes and does that.
Just to sidestep,
yeah,
sort of the same genre.
That's good. That's okay.
Imagine now Blizzard have fucked up Diablo 4.
Well, they have so far, yeah.
Torchlight comes out and steals the thunder the whole
Something's
way.
already doing it right now. Path of Exile. Is it Path of Exile? I'm sure it's Path of Exile. I don't have the notes for this.
Is that the free-to-play game that's just come out on PlayStation?
Yes, if I'm not mistaken.
I will
because
do
it's already
a bit
been on
of
PC
research.
and stuff. It's already been on Xbox. What are the chances that they just... I think it was supposed to come to PlayStation later. Right, it is definitely Path of Exile I'm thinking of. That a few days after Blizzard do a big old misstep with Diablo, that the very Diablo-like game comes out on all the consoles at this point. People are jumping on it, and it's free to play. I haven't tried it yet. I want to try out Path of Exile. It's actually supposed to be quite good.
I've not seen much of it.
So Polygon spoke with Alan Adham. I'm butchering people's names here. He's the executive producer and Blizzard co-founder about the response about Diablo Immortal. He said, "We have said that we have multiple Diablo teams working on multiple Diablo projects, and that remains true, even after releasing Diablo 3 on Nintendo Switch and announcing Diablo Immortal." Adham, or Adham, it just sounds like I'm saying Adam wrong.
Adham, to my sandwich.
We still have multiple Diablo teams working on multiple unannounced Diablo projects. Diablo is a tentpole franchise for us, and it always will be. We love it, and hope our fans understand what we're saying when we say that. So they're just doubling down on it. We are definitely working on something. There's been a lot of rumors floating.
To come out and show something.
There's been a lot of rumors that a trailer's ready.
That'll calm them down.
Yep.
And everybody will go back to their little caves.
Yep. So I've got two thoughts. So first of all, there was rumors flying around that they're prepping a trailer now to drop, because that would just at the very least, it would be like, sorry fans, here you go. Maybe
they would wait to Game Awards as well.
Well, they could.
And Kind of Funny. Is it Kind of Funny?
There's the Kind of Funny one. There's also XO8. I don't know how much of a connection they've had with Microsoft in the past. I think in the past, they have been tied to PlayStation a little bit more, I think. I'm sure there used to be a way to link your Battle.net account to your PlayStation account with stuff. But...
No, that might have been Steam.
It was Steam I'm thinking of. I'm mixing it up. But if Microsoft throw enough money at them, which also then makes me think there was rumors floating around that there was a trailer and they pulled it at the last minute. What if all of this that's happened to Blizzard is actually something like... This is purely speculation. This isn't news, guys.
Just take this with a silo of salt.
Exactly. What if Microsoft came to them and threw a load of money at them and said, we want to do a deal, we want to do minor exclusives, the general... jazz where you will get a few items. Exactly.
You will play as Master Chief in Diablo 4.
But yeah, only on Xbox
Heard it
One.
here first.
But yeah, what if they went, we want to do that, and we want you to announce it at XO18. Here's a load of money. It's only like a week after BlizzCon.
That's very true.
So what if Blizzard are being screwed over big time because Microsoft paid a load of money for it? This is entirely speculation, but it's just, it could happen. It would be weird if they did.
Feed into this speculation
let's
as well.
Feed it.
Feed it. I think I've spoke about this the last podcast about what I think might play out.
Okay.
It's either I've spoke about it on podcast or I've spoke about it in stream.
Okay.
Where XO18's coming up. Everybody knows new consoles are in development. Next gen's 100% getting announced next year.
Yep.
What happens if now we get to XO18 and Microsoft pull a fast one like Sony did and announce the PlayStation 4 out of the blue? They go, we're going to get the upper leg and announce the next Xbox this weekend, just a tease. And Blizzard ties in there and goes, right, one of the first games coming is Diablo 4.
It's going to be Diablo, yeah. That would be a big one. That would be a huge... that would be both, I think, big for both partnerships in a certain way. I think Blizzard could gain something out of that because they're basically outright saying, like, the very first announced next-gen console, our game's already going to go on it.
That's how I also see Xbox going with X. We've got another section later on about it.
We do. We've got only a little bit to talk about because it's more just little speculation right now. It's always that in the run up to a show.
What I feel like because the one I picture is the moment when they revealed the Xbox 360 Slim at E3. Nobody knew it was really coming. It was
that was the lift when he lifted the old shell,
the old white shell, and he was like, "This is out tomorrow."
Oh, the bigger one that not annoyed me just because we're not in the industry because that was when it was that was one of the years.
Everybody's got one.
Everyone that's here gets one.
No one know.
I don't know if
it was the chairs.
Yeah,
it's when you walked out.
It was when you walked out. They're like everyone that's here gets one, and I'm like, God damn it, but it was an industry event.
Yeah.
Like, it's only the past couple of years they've gone back to being open doors.
But I can very much... Xbox have played it before.
They have.
I could see them do it again this
Absolutely.
time.
We'll go into more speculation a little later. Back to BlizzCon for now. The next announcement that they dropped was something I'm actually really excited for. This, for me, this actually might have happened earlier on. I think the Diablo was one of the later ones.
Yeah, Diablo was one of the last ones. I wonder if that was like damage control.
Maybe. But Warcraft 3 Reforged has been announced. It is a remaster of Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos. And it's launching next year, which I'm excited that they've already went. It's coming because we're almost in next year is almost now.
2 months away.
Exactly. It's really not far away. It's going to feature fully remodeled characters environments. I don't actually know if you want to pull up. There's a few. They did. There's gameplay, there's cinematic, and then there's a campaign. I think gameplay or campaign probably. Because cinematic's just the general awesome Blizzard stuff. It does. Well, it's Blizzard's in-house. You'll have to hit play.
Play.
So this is all in-game. This is what the game now looks
Art
like.
and effects, not final.
That's always the way.
They'll be close.
They'll probably be very close to this.
I guess how polished can you make an old RTS game look?
If we go, let's go full screen for this just for a moment. This I think it looks really nice because I played a lot of Warcraft 3 and Frozen Throne as well, which was the DLC. It was a phenomenal RTS.
Is the DLC coming already in it?
They haven't said. At least I haven't been able to find information that specifies if it is.
Hopefully.
It would be nice if it does.
However,
or at least
they do look like they're just the Hero of the Storm card.
Oh, very much. Well, Heroes of the
Storm. It literally looks like they've just went, here's the model from Heroes of the Storm, you can put it in your game.
Yeah, pretty much. Which is fine. It's probably running on a very similar engine to the Heroes of the Storm, which wouldn't be much of a misstep because the original Warcraft 3 included a full world editor, which led to a lot of amazing mods and stuff coming out. Defense of the Ancients, now commonly just known as Dota, was an extremely popular map that was for it. It was actually based on a map from StarCraft. I don't have the name of that. It was something of Aeons. That was the original MOBA, essentially, was that one in StarCraft, and then they remade it and called it Defense of the Ancients for Warcraft 3. And it was, now it's just Dota. Obviously, Valve went off and made Dota 2. But that was made in the world editor. The world editor is returning.
Does this mean we're going to get Dota 2?
I think
3.
I don't know. I mean, it means something's going to come out of it. It's going to have the full world editor.
They are 100% going to remake Dota in that game.
Big time. I'd be surprised if Blizzard didn't do it themselves, if I'm honest, and just release it as like a little free. Here's how you can use the world editor.
Yeah.
But yeah, Warcraft 3 launched in 2002, 16 years ago, and it was the last game in the Warcraft RTS line, because after that point, they essentially went, okay, now we're going to do World of Warcraft.
Do you think they're going to go back to it? Like, this is a little tease to test the waters to see, does people want RTSs?
Maybe. I mean,
Warcraft 4?
They've probably got metrics of how many people are playing StarCraft 2, and especially when they made it free to play.
I forget they've got StarCraft 2.
They do own the biggest RTS games, pretty much. StarCraft's still one of the biggest RTS games. And to then bring back Warcraft 3 in an upgraded engine with upgraded visuals, they're essentially going, no, we've lost a little grip on the RTS market. Let's take that back. Like, everyone wants to go play this one. No, I could see them coming back with Warcraft 4 after this. This could be a great tease into it, and then next year they announce.
But it's
Warcraft
a mobile
4.
game.
Yeah, exactly. It's a mobile only game. But yeah, that was the next announcement. I'm very excited for that. I loved. Did you play any of Warcraft 3? Was that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I guess it was a PC thing. So.
Yeah.
Was it a PC? I can't remember if they ported it to the Nintendo 64.
Oh, maybe, but I never had a 64.
No.
My cousins.
The final big announcement from BlizzCon is new Overwatch heroes have been announced. There was a shot. I don't know if you want to play the
gameplay.
Is it the gameplay that I was thinking of? One of the two.
The shot's quite long. It
is. So yeah, so there was a shot that played at BlizzCon, and it was set in Route 66, which is obviously kind of the Wild Westy sort of place. It also is great because it showed like the little backstory of how the train ended up being there and all trashed and stuff. It features McCree very heavily.
I do like when Blizzard do like shorts to each character. It's amazing.
It's great. The May one broke my heart big time. Like, that was such a good one. But yeah, so this one features McCree, but it's not specifically McCree. We're not watching this one right now. We're actually watching the gameplay thing featuring the new character. So in the trailer, McCree comes face to face with the gang called Deadlock. The leader of the gang is Elizabeth Caledonia Calamity Ash, otherwise known as Ash.
Yeah.
She is also joined by her bowler-hatted metal chum B.O.B. or Bob. Which her actual skills, that Bob is going to be her ultimate, which is actually really cool. She gets
it's an
some very cool
move
things.
To be like, here's another character.
It is. I was thinking about it, I was like, that's a weird one to have that, but I guess it's because it'll just be a targeted thing, you'll go there, like whichever way you're facing. It'll be very similar to any of the stuff. I'm blanking on Overwatch heroes, but firing the bow of the dragon.
No.
It'll be kind of like that, where it'll just be like almost an AoE in front of you. It'll come in and just start smashing. But yeah, it's she's described as a super high mechanical skill character, as well as bringing Bob with her. What's interesting is we don't have footage of this because it is part of the cinematic thing. The end of the cinematic ended with McCree pulling an Omnic out of a shell that was part of the cinematic. And they kind of spin. You immediately get the sense that they know each other. Like, he refers to this Omnic as his partner. He's like, hey, partner. Like, and she refers to him by name, in fact. And it's immediately set up that she is one of the original Overwatch heroes. And even more so, Ashe is officially the 29th Overwatch hero with this new character, Echo, that is only teased at the end, is going to be the 30th, but they're still very much in development.
Yeah, they pretty much confirmed that because they were like, you're not ready for her.
Yeah.
You don't get her now.
You don't get her now.
See her. You know who she is.
It would be too much to drop.
Now fuck about with an ARG for it, which they don't want another repeat of Sombra.
They don't.
But yeah, I can see how that character is very heavily mechanic. It is.
Oh, big time.
It's nearly like playing a CSGO character in a world of Overwatch.
Yeah, big time. No, she looks really fun. I love the little shotgun boost at the floor that like launches you up and stuff. So cool.
I need to go back.
I do. I think I've missed the past couple of heroes. I've played like one match. When they've announced, I've jumped back in.
Played one match.
Played one match and gone, that was really cool. And then because I've done it on my own, I haven't had any reason to continue playing.
I did get heavily into playing competitive with it, but the community just got so bad.
It does get a little. There's a lot of salt and toxicity, but there is in any community. It just it comes out a lot in Overwatch. You see a lot of it. I think it's because the chat is quite active in Overwatch. I find a lot of other first-person games you don't see the chat as super active because people.
I think it's because it's a competitive game. Yeah. Most people have to use voice to communicate,
and it also
similarly in CS:GO. It's the same.
Yeah. So that is all the BlizzCon stuff wrapped up for this past weekend. Now we're going to jump into a little review roundup because I didn't realize these were going to drop today. The embargo lifted on Hitman 2 today because I also didn't realize that if you get I'm just going to call it the expensive edition of Hitman 2. I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Isn't the expensive edition the one with the briefcase?
That's the physical one, but that's just the physical equivalent of... Yeah, that's the physical one. This is the expensive digital one. But I think you get it with the briefcase one as well, because you get the briefcase in game with the digital one. But I think it's called like Gold Edition or something. But I'm just gonna call it expensive edition because it's like
more money than Sense Edition.
It's the game and a half. It's in the UK. The game, let's say the game's £50. It's £25 for this extra. I think it's actually 55 in the UK.
So bad.
It's an extra £25 to get it to be able to play tomorrow. Otherwise, you got to wait till Tuesday.
However, if Red Dead came out right, and they went. You can play it a week early.
No,
you play £25. Would you do it?
I hate it.
Would you have done it?
No, I would have done it. I hate it, but I would have done it. Yeah, I know. I'm a huge hypocrite. I would have done it for a game that I love, and I guess that's what they prey on with this. I just feel it's getting far too regular. Battlefield 5's doing it. This is doing it. I feel like
Battlefield, like EA, do it all the time with EA.
They usually tie it to their access, but this is also doing it where if you get the deluxe edition, you also get in.
Did they not do it with 4? I think not 4. The last one did it as well. It's so damn
confusing their numbering system at this point.
1 did it as well.
They definitely did it, and I think they did it with Battle. At this point, I just think it's silly. If everyone pays the same price for a game, you should all get the same game. It's just because someone's got more money than you and can afford the more expensive one doesn't mean they should get it a week early. That's just sucky.
I think it's EA setting the trend.
I think they have. Honestly, I think you're right. I think they were the first that I saw doing it. Anyway, I've got the aggregated stats here. So OpenCritic, which kind of is cross-platform, it has all of the platforms together, gives it an 83. Not bad.
Not bad.
Metacritic on PS4, it gets an 80. On Xbox One, it gets an 82. And on PC, it gets an 80. So it's trending a little higher on Xbox One, but overall, it's about an 80 across the board. Probably, if you bring all those together, you're probably trending at about an 81, 82. Not bad at all.
It's not bad.
I've got a few reviews. I just kind of cherry picked these. I didn't do what I did with Red Dead, where I literally grabbed about 40 reviews.
Yep, this is a lot smaller.
I just cherry picked
on one screen.
Exactly. So Katie McCarthy from US Gamer gave it a 4.5 out of 5. Have you got is this the launch trailer? That'd be perfect. Are we just gonna have it on mute because we already know what it all sounds like?
Yeah.
So we are gonna play that. We'll do it full screen so you guys can see it while I'm going through this. So yeah, Katie McCarthy gave it a 4.5 out of 5. She's from US Gamer. She said Hitman 2 may just be more Hitman, but it's somehow even better than before.
It's a lot of tidied mechanics as well.
I feel like that's what it is. Eurogamer, Edwin Evans Thirlwell. First of all, awesome name. That's a great kind of triple barrel name. Eurogamer don't give an overall score, so it's unscored. But what he had to say about it was more Hitman Season 2 than more Hitman Season 2 than an experience in its own right. But a couple of great maps, plus fun competitive mode make for a solid fan pick. So he pretty much said that it's a great game, but it's more like a Season 2 to 2016's Hitman than it is its own thing. Phil Savage from PC Gamer gave it 84 out of 100, saying essentially more of its predecessor, but with more consistent quality of levels, which is fine. Its predecessor was great. This is good. This is all positive.
The predecessor in this game as well.
Well, they did. So is it in there regardless, or is it only if you own?
Regardless, I think.
Right, yeah, because I did see that. I think IGN or one of these other ones specify that you do get all the original level. I thought it was only if you own the original levels that you got
Maybe. I don't know.
So yeah, I don't know.
We need to test that.
But yeah, IGN, Ryan McCaffrey from IGN gave it a 7.7 out of 10, saying Hitman 2 doesn't add much of note to the structure of its predecessor, and thus feels more like a Hitman 1.5 than a full-blown sequel. But that's not a bad thing. By offering more of the deepest, fullest stealth sandboxes in gaming in one single package rather than 6 episodic ones, it earns its keep. The inclusion of Hitman 2016 is a bonus for those that didn't catch the reboot initially. Here's hoping they put more effort into the plot next time. The plot, I feel, was always...
like 16 is actually included in it then.
They said it makes it sound like all of Season 1 is just in it.
If
it is, that's even better.
That adds so much more value to the game.
It does,
big
big time.
2 games in one.
It is, because the first game was fully... And you've got 2 years worth of content that they continue to release for it. And I wonder if you can go back, if they're still rolling through the elusive targets.
Like I saw as well, because we played the Sniper Assassin
We played a Sniper Assassin. We also played a little bit of Hitman 2.
It is on. It's in this game. It's not like...
I think it's just in it. Yeah, it's not.
It's in it, and they're pushing more levels into it. It's got more challenges.
So it's weird that they built it as a separate thing for the pre-order and we got the codes and also handed them out, because that's also now just going to be redundant. Like, you can just uninstall that from your console because it feels like it's all going to be built in.
Maybe it might be... like, can you remember when games would include a download within itself?
Yeah, maybe it'll do it that way. I guess Hitman is interesting on console. Even on console, you can go through and pick which levels you want to download and stuff. So yeah, maybe I think on Steam you can do the same.
But yeah, it's none of them reviews mention it, and that is a fantastic mode to play through. And if it goes through all original levels in Hitman 1 and then Hitman 2, that's a lot of content.
It's a lot of content to play through.
Because you've got challenges in each one. You've got weapons to level up.
Yep. You've got the elusive targets that come. You also got all the fan-made stuff in each level that you can go and play.
Ghost mode.
Ghost mode. So there's one that made mention. I might have actually missed this one out, where someone specified that it's got a great cooperative mode as well. But I'm wondering if they'd only talked about the Sniper Assassin.
I think that's Sniper Assassin because that's co-op.
That's co-op. Competitive is Ghost mode. Okay, that makes sense. I'm excited to play.
You can always see the ghost no matter what. So, like, if you're running beside... I could run beside
you. You can always see each other sort of thing. But you can't interact with the NPCs that... If they kill an NPC in front of you, their version dies and stuff.
Yeah, there's only set items and stuff you can interact with to fuck with the other side.
Yes, yeah. And you can't see... So if they cause utter chaos in their world, it won't affect your world. Yeah. And it's also... They're doing it as a scoring system as opposed to just, like, first to kill. So, it's... I'm not 100% sure on this, but the way I read about it is it seems like if we both have the same target and you kill them first, I no longer have to kill that target. It just gives us both a new target, and it's kind of like a race to see who can kill each of them first, and it's first to 5. So I think that's a cool way of doing it, because if I screw up right at the beginning, it still at least puts me on even playing field as soon as we go straight into the next target. Because you also, if anything, it gives you a disadvantage because you're running from bodyguards at this point from the first target you just killed.
Who says I'm going to kill him like that?
Well, we don't know, but that's the way I imagine it in my head. The final review I've got here is Edmund Tran from GameSpot gives it an 8 out of 10, saying fantastic new level designs, minor but meaningful additions, and some excellent bonuses help strengthen the endurance of the Hitman series. That's nice and positive. All of them they're all around that kind of 8 out of 10, 80%.
I hope it just continues, because the Hitman reboot is bloody fantastic.
Yeah, it was a solid title. If anyone hasn't picked it up, I recommend it. I
don't want them to go the route they did with the original, where they had stellar games and then they would do these shit spin-offs. That sort of like drained it out a bit.
It did a little bit. So yeah, the last game came out in... I've still got this as full screen. That's my bad. The last game came out in 2016, so it's 2 years ago. They did 2 years worth of content, and they're already planning More content with this one. Is there anything actually after this screen? It might actually have like the pre. You know how usually they'll do the thing being like.
No.
Oh, no, nothing there. Never mind. But yeah, the 3 different editions. The second, I think it's like bronze, silver, gold, and I think the silver edition automatically gives you access to the first episode of DLC, which is essentially a new map, new weapons, all that sort of stuff. And then if you get the gold one, you get access to both. But obviously, they'll be purchasable separate.
Yeah.
I think obviously it sounds more expensive. £25 to get both of them now. If they're anywhere pricing structure like the first game or Hitman 2016 was, they were only about £7-8 each anyway.
Depends how much they're going to charge.
Exactly. It's a different publisher now. It's not Square Enix anymore. It is Warner Brothers. So we will only have to see. Next up, we've got the Take-Two Interactive Software earnings call happened yesterday. And some interesting news came from it. First of all, for anyone that's waiting for the news, I know I have been, Red Dead Online won't be releasing until the end of November 2018. We were promised November. It looks like they're pushing it to the later portion.
I guess it also depends on what their classes end. It could drop in the final 2 weeks. It could drop on the 30.
I honestly think I think there's a good chance it's going to 30
days in November.
If it drops on the 31st, I'll be really disappointed because we're never going to get it. Yeah. I honestly think they could drop it on the 30th. It's a Friday. They released the game originally on a Friday. It's nice, gives everyone the weekend to sit and play. I think I could see them literally dropping it on the last day of the month.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I would love it sooner, but I won't hold my breath. In my head, I'm going to think 30th because then if it comes any sooner, it's a nice surprise. Otherwise, I'll just be looking forward to the 30th.
I expect a trailer by.
We're going to get a trailer at some point. Yeah, I think you're right there. Red Dead Redemption 2 has sold 17 million copies in its 8 days of sales. That is 8 million more copies in the 8 days than Red Dead Redemption 1 sold in 8 years.
I thought Red Dead had a huge following. I guess
not as
everybody has bought this game.
Everybody's bought it. Also, there's a lot more people who own consoles now than owned previous ones. We always kind of think, because we run in circles of people who've always owned games consoles, had a 360, had a PS3, had a PS4, had an Xbox One.
PC, was it?
It never came to PC. It was only on Xbox 360 and PS3, and just not as many people back then owned them. There's more people in the world now, and B, there's just more people owning consoles. Like, a lot more people own PlayStation 4s and Xbox Ones. They're huge sellers. So yeah, it's sold a lot of copies. And this is already before we factor in when PC comes out, it's going to sell even more. And also, the other thing that came off the earnings call was Grand Theft Auto 5 has crossed 100 million copies sold worldwide. What's more interesting, I thought, is that 3 million of those copies were in the last quarter alone. Why are 3 million copies of that game still being sold 5 years after it came out?
Why?
Actually, is it 5 years? It came out in 2013, I think.
Why are people still buying that game?
3 million people buying it. That's a lot of copies to be sold.
But if you think about it...
Unless it's people rebuying it after they get banned from GTA Online. All the hackers.
Red Dead's nearly sold.
Yeah, 17 million in 8 days.
That's 20%.
I feel like
20%.
I think Red Dead 2 has a chance that in 5 years' time, I think it might beat GTA 5 because it's also, as we already predicted, it's going to be coming. We don't know this for certain, but it will come.
Next gen consoles, it will come.
Yep.
With PC at that time, and everybody will rebuy it again because there'll be some fancy new polish to it. And your horse will fly.
I couldn't find. I couldn't find the stats for how many copies GTA 5 had sold in its first week of sales. Because I was curious if it was more or less than that. I honestly think it'll probably be more. Because, like I say, there's more people.
GTA is the more mainstream.
GTA is the more mainstream, but there's more people with consoles. That's just back in 360 days.
Yeah.
We know how many. I mean, the amount of consoles that PS4 sold. Sorry, my phone's slipping out of my pocket. Slippery little bar of soap there. But yeah, that was the main things from the earnings call. More Red Dead Redemption 2 news. This is the only other thing this week. Don't worry, guys. I'm not going to keep going on about it. People have been experiencing a bug in Red Dead Redemption 2. I didn't experience this. I don't think you've experienced it so far.
What is it?
But you're still pretty early on. So, there's a bug that happens that makes the characters Sadie, Jack, John, and Abigail not appear in your camp during Chapter 2. So, they're obviously characters that you get introduced to during Chapter 1. There's a whole thing with John and stuff. I'm going to avoid story spoilers here. Don't worry, guys. But those characters don't appear in camp. They will appear if there's a story mission tied to them. But you don't get any interactions with them, no story. You know, when you can just walk up to people and go like, hello, and then they'll give you this random little bit of dialogue that'll just give you a little bit more of the world, like this person's been up to this today, this person wants you to go do this.
No. I don't really spend much time in my camp.
You should check your camp, see if they're there. So the way it happens is when you do the mission Polite Society, Valentine style, which is one of the very first missions of Chapter 2, you and Uncle and the girls head into Valentine.
Yeah.
If you fail during that mission, which apparently it's very easy to do. It's more so if like you've got to do something but you do it too early, like if you pull a gun on someone when you shouldn't or something like that, it'll just fail the mission. And you retry from checkpoint, which is the obvious way you go. Those characters have a chance to not show up in your camp after that point.
I don't think I died on that mission. So.
No, I don't think I did. But so Rockstar have said that they're aware of the issue. They also recommend that if this happens to you, I'll read the thing. So Rockstar released a statement. We're aware of the issue, and we're currently working on a fix to be included in an upcoming title release. In order to experience all vignettes and conversations, players must complete the Polite Society Valentine-style mission without using retry checkpoint. If the player fails any portion of the mission, they should abandon it and restart the mission or load a save before the mission failed. So hopefully not many people are affected. It won't stop you progressing in the game. You can still do all the story.
I think they appear in Chapter 3.
Some of them appear in Chapter 3, some of them appear in Chapter 4. So there's some people playing the game that won't actually see these characters until Chapter 4, which sucks because there is a lot of depth to the actual character that you get to chat to them. Sadie is a character that on my second playthrough now I'm paying a lot more attention to her, and because it's a character that I like later on in the game, so I'm going like, oh, I'm actually going to pay attention to her this time. Because last time I was like, where the hell did she come from? Because she was a really cool character later on, and I was like, I want to pay attention to this character now. It would suck if you missed out on any of that, because it is nice to just, even if you just go into your camp to do one thing, like, oh, I'm just going to quickly go and shave, or I'm going to go and sleep just to speed
my only
time
gripe
along.
is I wish you could move around the camp a bit quicker.
Yeah, it is a little slow. You get used to it, and certain camps have certain different radiuses. So later camps, when the slow radius doesn't happen until you're a little closer to the center, so you can kind of sprint your way in, and then as soon as you get a little further out, you can sprint back out again. But the first camp is the worst, I think, because you've got to walk, and also you can't take your horse. You get so far, and they're like, get off your horse.
That might be why I just haven't spent much time at my camp.
The camp's a little bit slow. You get used to it after a while. I start learning to go into the camp from a certain direction and then walk around the outside quickly and then run into where I need to be rather than cutting through the middle, because the middle takes ages.
On the back of that,
yeah,
I know there's a HDR issue with the game.
There is.
It's not displaying correctly. Rockstar have now come out and said they are aware of it, and they are looking to fix that as well.
So I didn't include that here, but yeah, that's right. So that'll be in this title update as well.
Yeah, which people should expect fairly soon.
Well, I'm still expecting the day one patch, apparently. I'm assuming it was rolled in, but they came out and said the day one patch is version 1.03. My game is still running 1.02.
I think it was rolled in with our download.
Yeah. So the next bit of news, off of the topic of Red Dead Redemption and killing in the Wild West. There's a trailer. If you just want to put it in the background, that'd be pretty cool. Sure. Kingdom Hearts 3 this week added a new kingdom, the Kingdom of Corona. I think that's how it's pronounced, which is the kingdom from Tangled, and thus it's featuring. Have you hit play on that? Yes. Oh, are you looking at the side-by-side thing? Yeah. I think it makes it look worse.
Do you think?
Yeah, if you pay attention to it this time, like her hair looks it looks like a solid lump. So I saw people comparing it to the original film, but that looks like it doesn't look like strands like in the original film. I think it's
more the look of the tower.
It all looks right. It looks good. Like they've done so well of actually making it look like the original and stuff. It looks really cool. The voices sound weird. I don't know if they've actually gotten the same voice cast back. Because it's Zachary Levi that plays. They've
got a little bit weird shading to people, but
it's still impressive what they can do. Do you want to drag that image over, actually? I'll make it go away for a second. I'll let you drag that image over. So yeah, so this is the new kingdom that's been added to Kingdom Hearts 3, which is the home of Rapunzel and Flynn Rider. Let me just pop that up. The top is the original movie.
Top is the original movie. The bottom is...
Yeah. Honestly, it looks like things like depth of field and just motion blur seem to be thrown at the biggest, and yeah, a little bit of lighting. But you're never going to be able to match the lighting of... we'll skip it back a little. You're never going to be able to match the lighting of when it's sitting rendering for like weeks at a time.
Yeah.
To get that sort of thing. So yeah, this is the new kingdom that's been added. It's almost 15 years since the last mainline Kingdom Hearts game, which is crazy.
They've done the 1.5s
like big time. They've done the 1.5s and the 2.5s and all the other stuff in between. They've done all the mobile games, not mobile, the handheld
and they've done mobile games as well.
Yeah, they have done mobile games as well. So they've done all that, but this is the one that directly is like Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and this is 3.
I didn't realize it was out in January.
It is. It is out January 29th on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. This is the newest location that's been added, but some of the other ones that have already been announced for the game include Arendelle from Frozen, San Francisco from Big Hero 6, Andy's Room from Toy Story, Monstropolis from Monsters, Inc., the Olympus Coliseum from Hercules, and Port Royale from Pirates of the Caribbean.
I think they might have one more up their sleeve.
They've probably got at least one more, and there's probably a load of other ones that are like smaller that are in there, but these are the big ones. That's a lot of new locations to be visiting. Yep. This is so cool. I'm very excited for it. I'm a big Disney fan, and especially now that they've fully integrated like Pixar and new Disney animation, like with Frozen and Tangled and Big Hero 6. So I'm excited. Like, I like Disney. I liked. I wasn't a big fan of Kingdom Hearts 1. I like Kingdom Hearts 2.
Kingdom Hearts 1 is a bit of a slog to go back and play. I started it.
They're not games that have aged well.
I think I've sort of given up on it.
Yep. I do that sometimes when I play older Final Fantasies, and I know that's blasphemy to a lot of people out there, but some old Final Fantasies I go to play, they're so slow sometimes, just going, and I'm like,
7 is really slow to begin with.
Just push ahead. It's also when you've played it so much as a kid and you know what's coming, and it's almost like ingrained in you now, so you're like, can I not just get to the good bit now?
Let us get to the motorbike chase.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was Kingdom Hearts 3. The next bit on the gaming news is DayZ is entering, or has entered, it was earlier this week, beta on PC. Which I know
generally surprised me because I thought it was already in beta.
Well, I did as well. So apparently the past 5 years have been early access alpha development, but now it's going into actual beta because the release of 1.0 is coming up this year. So now they're stopping focus on features. Adding features to it, and instead they're shifting their focus on content, bug fixing, stabilization, and balancing. So really just polishing up the game, adding lots of new items and things.
Have they fixed zombies in it? Because I remember last time we played, the zombies were
very
absolutely
broken. I think the big update that came either early this year or late last year.
The way it worked, it was the zombies were really good because they were quite slow, but you had fast ones and you can manage them. Then updated the zombies.
Was this in the main game or back in the beta? Back in the mod?
This is the main game.
In the main game, okay.
And then they broke them.
Yeah, big time.
Because they just became these invincible monsters that you could not
and they could
survive
they could go through walls and stuff.
And then I don't know if they've been repaired since.
They've been fixed. A lot of stuff has apparently been very much fixed.
I
in the game.
I was always interested in going back for 0.63 because that was always the big one. That
was the big one that pushed out. That was the big one that was the big stepping stone towards beta. They're now in beta on Steam. And 1.0 is coming before the end of the year. Well, I think, honestly, I don't know if I'll try the beta. I might wait for 1.0 and then just delve in when I know that it's all polished and all the features are in.
It was such a good game. But it's... I don't know if they should take the zombies out at this point and just have it like this weird survival game, or still keep them in, because then there's the risk of.
I think the zombies are good. I think the zombies are actually improved now. Like,
if they're good in the work in the environment, good.
I don't think they could honestly release a zombie DayZ. Like, they couldn't release DayZ without the zombies at this point. Like, and if they do and the zombies are still bad, then let's boo on them because that sucks. But some of the beta highlights, I grabbed these from the announcement that they posted. The beta, at this point, it's had major engine changes, improvements to game and network performance, introduction of base building.
That's interesting.
Yeah, massively, because it's such a persistent game as well. You can build a base. It's kind of like, it's like Ark and Rust. It'll be there for a long time unless someone comes and takes you down. Massively improved implementation of vehicles, so vehicles aren't as glitchy and buggy anymore. More elaborate AI for infected and animals. Because hunting is a big thing in the game now. You've got to go like hunting for deer, so you can go and cut it up and cook it.
Scavenge berries as well.
Yeah, you got to do all that sorts. It's taken a lot of elements from some of those other survival games. A major map rework to make Chenaru more beautiful and detailed. That was a big kind of engine overhaul. They did all the graphics, and the ability to run your own servers is now in beta.
I know that was a big deal because you had to like hire them from set people, didn't you?
It was a big deal. You could only get them from set people. I don't even know if it was that. I don't even know if you could even run your own server in the main thing.
You could.
That was the big issue.
To connect to the Hive.
And full modding support is fully going in, and it's already actually the Steam Workshop page is now up, and in the beta you can now go and grab mods and stuff.
That's interesting.
That is interesting.
Come from
I feel like, I wonder if they're doing it properly, so it'll be like the server manages what mods you can have, kind of like if you're playing Gary's mod and stuff like that. Because then it means that you could go onto a server and everyone's Pikachu or something just ridiculous. Because you know that's going to be in it. There's going to be really stupid ones. But that's pretty cool that there's mods. But yeah, that's going into beta. I'm excited to try out 1.0 when it drops. It's only I feel no need to jump in now, knowing that 1.0 is theoretically
coming by the end
unless
of the
there's
year.
a delay, it's going to be here in like a month. So
yeah.
The next thing on the same sort of realm as not DayZ, but jumping over to Battle Royale with PUBG. DC has hitched their horse, as it were, to PUBG, and they have brought the Joker and Harley Quinn skins from 2016's Suicide Squad. I'm more disappointed that it's from the Suicide Squad. Actually, I don't mind the Harley Quinn. That was fine. It's Margot Robbie. I thought she did it very well. But I don't like they did that Joker. They could have done a better Joker.
Oh, my days. He looks absolutely ludicrous.
Yeah, he looks stupid. It doesn't, because it also doesn't look like the Joker from the movie, because it's obviously just the PUBG character wearing it, so it looks kind of wrong. But yeah, last year Marvel teamed up with Epic and did what I've noted here is the considerably higher effort appearance of Thanos in Fortnite, which had it as a full event, which was really cool. But this is just some skins. I don't know. Maybe they'll do something like an actual event down the road once it's all out. They've just said it's coming soon. It doesn't look great. It's also
the Harley Quinn doesn't look too bad.
No, you can get away with that, but that's because everyone cosplays as that anyway, so you've seen it a billion times. But no, the Joker one does not look good. It's just a guy with green hair with the face paint doesn't even look right because it's just in the middle of his face. Also, when was this vehicle added?
So it might be one of the newer maps. I've not touched PUBG in a fair while. I'm sure I've seen somewhere that
they're expensive.
These are expensive. Okay. These are like more than the price of the game expensive. Which, if that's true, they can eat my ass.
There you go. Then you heard it here first, guys. You can eat Adam's ass.
That's ludicrous.
No, it is. I agree with you.
For 2 skins.
Yeah, big time.
Each skin might be more expensive than the game itself. Not just you buy both of them. You have to buy, but you've got to buy them individually. Which is just, it's insane. It shouldn't happen.
It is. It's big time insane. On that note, the next one, which I'm going to try not to hate too much because, I know it's a game you like, but I think you already agree that this is kind of shitty. Bungie has added the temporal surge to Destiny 2. So, anyone that's familiar with Destiny 2, you know of the Eververse store, which is essentially their in-game store for cosmetics and things like that. I just had a look at that to see if there's anywhere on there that looks... It's just silver. Yeah, so the Eververse store is pretty much your cosmetic store where you can get like emotes, you can get shaders, you can get new
cosmetic items. That's all it is now.
Cosmetics and all that sort of stuff. We just had a note there. Is that pertinent to something that we just discussed?
Yes.
Is that to do with this or with the last story?
It is to do with the last one.
It's to do with the last story. So we have had at least a note from chat. LA Clonel says $25 each for the Harley Quinn and Joker skins. So... it is confirmed you can eat Adam's ass.
That's just ludicrous.
The temporal surge is... we haven't worked out if it's actually in yet. You think it dropped in this Tuesday. It dropped.
I don't think they've actually made an announcement of it.
Yeah, it was harder to find. I came across this and you hadn't even heard of it, and you actively played Destiny.
Yeah.
It's only in for 5 days. It goes away on the 13th. The temporal surge is a new kind of branch of the Eververse store. So the way Destiny works is they have seasons which kind of run for about 3 months each sort of thing. It's usually around that time. It kind of links up with each of the DLC that they bring out usually. And in each of the seasons, they have a load of like emotes and stuff, and they're only available during that season. You got a point?
Don't you play the game more than me. I think you can get emotes out of past seasons.
Aren't there some of them that are tied? Because that's the whole point of this store, is that these are the ones that are retired.
You can definitely get them this way, because I've also read that these skins as well, these legendary emotes, are slightly... because
they've changed some of them.
They've changed the colours so that collectors can get it again.
Yeah, okay.
So I think these are like a special like reimagining of it.
Okay.
But you can still possibly get them, because I've definitely had one myself.
Okay, well that's cool.
Old season.
That's cool. So if you can get them in the past, this is a confirmation of way to get it before.
Yeah, because apparently this is like taking away the RNG of getting it.
They've said after this they are being retired for good. So this might be their final going away.
Yeah, possibly.
But I don't know. Maybe you'll still be able to get them. I don't have confirmation on that. But so usually in the Eververse, there is premium currency that it has called silver. They also have their non-premium currency, which is dust. You can get dust fairly easily. Like you can basically
amass it now.
Yeah, you can get it a lot easier than you used to be able to do, which I don't mind. I'm always very vocal about the fact I hate microtransactions in games. I think the only place microtransactions have a home is in a free-to-play game, or if the game doesn't make you feel the need to do the micro, and that is there for the people who are a little bit obsessive and stuff. Collectors, exactly. Yeah, people who feel like they have to have everything, and I get that. I'm just not one of those people. But yeah, so for example, in Overwatch, I can see it because I've never felt the need to buy loot boxes, because I can just earn coins by playing the game, and I never feel a big deal with that. Whereas in Destiny, being a full price title with full price DLC, I always think that there's no place for microtransactions.
I am surprised they've gone down this route as well. After
big time. After the backlash
they faced originally with having cosmetics items tied to this shitty method of getting them. They then reverted back and made them easier to get for people. They then added a $10 emote pack in, where it was one emote for $10, which everybody kicked off about.
They did.
They've sort of gone back again on that and started giving people easier ways to get emotes. And now they're going to try it again.
They're going to try it again because they're going to try that. Look, I think Bungie, I think your Activision's showing a little bit. You need to cover that up.
It's coming through. Call of Duty.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a nip slip of Call of Duty coming out.
Exactly.
Because that shit's ridiculous as well.
Well, that's what I'm meaning. I think their Activision show. Like, Bungie were always this like really trusted developer, and now it feels like, they are owned by Activision.
This is completely off tangent. Have you seen that the Call of Duty Black Ops 2 weapons that you can grind?
No.
I think there's some form of weapons that you can grind. It's apparently...
Wait, Black Ops 2?
The latest one.
Black Ops 4. 4. Yeah, I was going to say, because when you write it out, it says, boy?
That's it. That is apparently ludicrous grind. Like, we're both WoW players, and we can grind very happily. Like, I've done it on
I'm happy,
multiple games.
I'm happy grinding for a game to get something.
This thing is ridiculous to grind.
Yeah. So that's why I don't like microtransactions in games. I've never been a fan of them in Destiny, but Destiny time and time again does try to make it for players like myself who are happy to grind. They will let me do it. I'd rather not grind, but at least I can get it for free. But this new store, this story's lasted a lot longer, but the Temporal Surge is only a silver store. At least that's the announcement that I found. If there is different information to that, you guys let us know if I'm wrong. But the only information I've got that from the announcement is that it is a silver-only store to allow people to get these emotes before they go away permanently. They are going to be selling them 200 silver for a rare emote, 500 silver for a legendary, and 1,000 silver for a exotic. For reference, 1,100 silver is $10 or £8.50. So it's about £8.50, or it's $10 for an exotic. And really, if I'm perfectly honest, the only ones I would see people mostly wanting is the exotics.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones that are the hardest to get. They're the hardest to come
Admittedly,
by.
there is only two.
They're also the cool. There is only two. They are also the coolest.
Yeah.
But if you were someone that didn't have those two, you're dropping $20 on some
animations.
I think the thing I don't like is that they are very aware of the market they're going after with this. They're going after the people, the collectors that they know will spend.
It's the fact that they've reskinned these emotes so that they're slightly differently colored. So anybody that has them and has got, I've got all these emotes. They go, you haven't got the pink one.
But this is all the games do it. GTA is the biggest example of all this sort of stuff. So yeah, I don't agree with it. That's the Temporal Surge. I recommend you save your money and put it towards another game. Spyro's out next week. Hitman 2's out next week. Battlefield 5's out next week. Put it towards another game. Don't spend like $30 on a bunch of emotes. Go and have some fun. Go and do something. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents. I know everyone is entitled to their own opinion. The next one, article, now we're away from Destiny, is Ingress Prime is out now. It actually came out a little earlier this week. It is basically it's Niantic. They are back with a new gold free-to-play game.
I heard about this, but I just thought it was like
just the
a
game
new
again.
Season in
it is a full new thing.
It's launched, a whole new app.
It launched earlier this week, on iOS and Android. It's a full major redux of the original AR mobile game. Much like the original Ingress from 2012, the game features the players in the role of agents exploring the world to identify and capture portals, as well as collecting exotic matter. The new title's gameplay features a full storyline featuring 2 rival factions, similar to like Niantic. If you didn't know, Niantic are the developers of Pokemon Go. They're obviously taking what they learned from that and bringing it back into Ingress, because I imagine that any sales and money they make on that, they don't have to pay to the Pokemon company. And so that's probably why they're doing this. They probably went, we can make a lot of money. Let's make it and not have to share it. But anyway, so it features a full story, 2 rival factions competing for total domination. There are going to be anomalies, which are the equivalent, I think, anyway, I put in brackets here, but they didn't officially say this. They're going to be the equivalent of raids, which will feature in the new game. They will be turning points in the story that evolves. There's going to be 12 mainline anomalies that happen every quarter. The first happens on the 17th of November in different cities around the world. And on top of that, they're also launching a new web series soon that is going to be kind of deep diving into the lore, giving you more backstory, and Netflix have commissioned a full anime to be produced that is going to be set in this new world.
I didn't even realize there was lore to Ingress. I
don't think the first one had it so much.
And you looked at weird shit on your phone, and nobody really made sense of it.
I honestly think that there's things that they wanted to do. These are certain things that they wanted to do with Pokemon Go, but can't because they don't own the rights. So Pokemon Go, they can make the game and they can do what they want and make it awesome, all that sort of stuff. But they can't go off and make a web series about Pokemon. They don't own that. They can't go and sign a deal with Netflix to make a new anime series that runs in tandem with the game because they don't own that.
Yeah.
Because in this way, they could go, there's a new event dropping that's a whole big story change. Go check out the new episode on Netflix. Like, that's pretty cool. If you really enjoy this lore, you could really immerse yourself in all the different elements. You can check out the web series every week. You can check out the Netflix show when it drops.
I know they have a little bit of free reign with Pokemon Go.
They do
like the whole quest system in it. That's obviously taken forever to come out in it.
Well, Pokemon Go also benefits from Ingress Prime's release.
This is a little bit old information.
Is it old information, this one?
They've now stopped, but they will still be in the game files.
Right, okay.
But they did release these.
So these, when did these come out?
This came out maybe about a week ago.
Oh, I think that's when this game released. Was pretty much, it was just after, I think it was maybe last Friday or something.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. So yeah, with the release, they released two new shiny Pokemon into the wild, Cubone and Ponyta. But now you're saying that they're not there anymore.
They've gone. Yeah.
Okay, so they've gone now. But that was actually a celebration of Ingress Prime.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't really play a lot of AR stuff. I never got into Pokemon Go. I've been playing quite a bit of Ghostbusters World.
What you want to play is the Vatican City one, where you collect Catholic saints.
Yeah. But yeah, I've been playing Ghostbusters World, but Ghostbusters World is very much, it doesn't apologize for this being a Pokemon Go clone, but it's already got the full story and quest system in there, and you can do battling, and you collect your ghosts and make a team, and you battle. And
played a little bit of like the Jurassic Park one where it had the whole PvP.
That. Yeah, I played a tiny bit of it, and then I
garbage.
discovered it was eating my data and battery. The Ghostbusters World I quite enjoy, but I think these games, it's whatever you identify with the most. Now, I love Pokemon, but I never got into Pokemon Go. Ghostbusters World, I'm getting into a little bit because I love Ghostbusters, so it's actually really cool, and I actually really like their AR game for it. I was never a fan of flicking the ball, but this is actually pretty cool because you actually have to aim at the ghosts, and you can switch weapons out and throw the traps down, and you've got to do it all properly. It's pretty cool. But yeah, so Ingress Prime, if anyone likes the AR games, I mean, hey, you can play multiple. You can just, wherever you go, and you just pull them out, go, oh, I've done that now.
I know people that
switch to the next
play
app.
Multiple, and then they end up picking up like 3 or 4, and then they drop them.
Yeah.
It's so hard. It's like picking up like 3 different
MMOs. It's whichever
Imagine
you can stick with.
if you went, I'm going to play WoW.
Yeah.
I'm going to play Lord of the Rings
I've
online.
I've tried this before. It doesn't work.
And I'm going to play Elder Scrolls Online.
I always end up just playing WoW and not playing the other ones.
That's exactly how it goes with an AR game. Because I find it hilarious when someone I know goes, I'm going to play all these AR games. And I'm like, have fun with that. Because your battery pack won't last that long.
Nope. I think I started Ghostbusters World on my last phone, and since switching to this one, I'm finding it a lot easier because my battery doesn't die so quickly because I've got a way bigger battery in it. But that is the story of Ingress and AR games. This is the last real game thing. This is actually a trailer, which I thought you would like to see.
Is there a trailer?
It's on the Steam page. So this is a new game that has been announced called Skatebird. We're going to go into this view. Yeah, that looks right. This is a new indie game by Glass Bottom Games called Skatebird. It promises the Hawk gameplay that we all love. So this is from the Steam page. It has a drive, smooth, flowing, physical feeling skating with simple buttons, not stick gestures. So this person was obviously a fan of Tony Hawk, not
Skate is such the better game, though.
Let's
not lie.
It is, but I do like that old school gameplay.
Arcadey.
Yeah. There's a few bits where it looks a little janky in this, if I'm perfectly honest. Like, sometimes it looks like it jerks, but this is very early. It's not out yet. Like, this is early kind of development, but it looks cute as hell. Feel immediately at home with the controls if you dig pro skaters of a Hawk variety. Explore a series of tiny worlds full of little objects and secret tapes, scotch tapes mostly. Make bird friends by completing challenges or just trying really hard. And organize skate events with your new friends. Become a skatebird legend. Coming soonish.
Soonish?
Yeah, that's soonish. That's officially on
the
Steam
Valve
page.
time?
And so it says there, available, coming soonish.
Oh my days, it does say it on the Steam page as well.
So I thought it looks fun. I like skating games. We haven't had one in a while. There's a few that are in development, little indie ones and stuff. We had a little play of the one Session, which is almost, it's pretty much they're trying to do skate, but even with more complicated controls. But once you get
them down,
it's good fun.
You can nail it.
But no, that's what we do want Skate 4. I'm hoping that enough of these are going to be pushed that EA are finally going to be like, okay, we're going to stop being bastards.
Everybody will buy Skate 4.
Yeah,
early
you'll win
if
a
you
load
do
of
it.
people back. Just don't fill it with microtransactions.
I'll pay the £25 to get Skate
don't
early.
bring it
I
out
would.
early. I know, and that's what they'll do as well. The final announcement, this is kind of just a note that we can speculate on a little bit, but XO18 kicks off this Saturday, November 10th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific Time, and 9 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time.
Greenwich Mean Time.
I never have to say, it's always just GMT. I never say it out loud. So far, they've announced that there's going to be either announcements or coverage at least from Crackdown 3, Minecraft, Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2, Forza Horizon 4, and of course, a surprise or two as well. So, your prediction.
My prediction, if I nail this,
Yeah, no?
I want rewarded again.
Okay, you'll get your reward again like you did for Red Dead.
I expect them to show off or tease
Yep.
this next console, and I could see Crackdown being a release title for it.
I'm wondering if they're going to give because there was that weird thing that happened with Crackdown. So Crackdown was announced to come out on February 22nd. It's that release date that everything's running from right now because everything drops on the same day. It's like Anthem, there was something else that recently just moved. It got pushed back. There's a few other ones as well. There was like 5 games coming on one day, which is just too much.
I wonder if that's a lot of like last minute panic. Get our games out.
Yeah, but before the end of the quarter sort of thing. But the tweet from Microsoft that announced that vanished
Saying that it was coming out
on
February.
the 22nd. They officially set a date. And now if you go looking for it, it ain't there. But you can find articles that like embedded it, and the embed is still there. But if you click on the tweet, it doesn't exist.
Right.
So I'm wondering if they've either pushed it back or they're waiting to actually announce it
I've
at this.
seen pictures as well of a new title to it.
Or a
It's
new title,
Crackdown 3.
like a subtitle.
New Providence.
Oh, okay. It should be just Crackdown 3, Terry likes yogurt. Well, because it feels like all the promotion they've done up to this point has just been Terry Crews.
I feel like it would be a perfect one to bring out the new Xbox.
It would be. Oh, do both. Definitely do both.
Let's say any new releases that will say that's going to come out on the new consoles. It will be these weird hybrid releases where it comes out on
both
Xbox One and Xbox 2.
My prediction, and I think I said this in last week's, is I think there's going to be less of this hybrid because I honestly think that if you buy it on the Xbox One, when you do upgrade to the new console, you'll already have it. I think
but you'll be able to
cross-buy, which I think that would be one of the best things, and I hope that both consoles go that route. Honestly, out of the two of them, I think it's more likely that Microsoft will do it because Microsoft are definitely on that win-back route. They need to get people back, and if they say to me, our new console comes out next December, Crackdown comes out in February. If you buy it in February, you'll also have access to it in December. And I'm like, I'm sold. Because then you're going to get us to play through it twice. Also, your save will probably carry over straight away.
Yeah.
But on top of that, you're going to get me to want to play through it twice just to experience it with the new graphics.
But I could see this.
Yeah.
Maybe a few secret titles that they've got in the works being shown and going, these games are coming out on new Xbox.
I think
here is a little tease of it. They've already definitely said it's being worked on.
They have,
because they said it last E3.
They did.
So I would not rule it out that they will play a Sony fastball, and then I feel like that may force Sony's hand a little bit. And I think they'll try to get their announcement out February time.
They're going to cancel PSX,
then
and then they're going to show up to the Kind of Funny show and announce it there.
But then I could also see them going, right, if Xbox announce a release date, Sony will cut it. Sony will undercut them.
You think they'll go that route? Last time they released like a week apart, I think. It really was. It was. I think one was like mid-November and one was the end. It was maybe 2 weeks at the top end. So I imagine that they're probably going to be the same. I think they'll both be the tail end of November next year. But yeah, it's which one's going to hit first.
Which one's going to have the titles?
Yeah, I think hitting first isn't as big a deal nowadays because we're in an age of websites and YouTube channels like Digital Foundry where they get them early anyway. So even before both of them have hit the shelves, you're going to be able to look at a comparison video showing games on both and that sort of stuff. So whatever hits first isn't the bigger deal now because you could go, we know whichever one gets my attention, but now you're going to go, no, I'm going to go see which one's best. Digital Foundry will show me all the frame rates and stuff.
I think it's all going to be a case of where your friends go as well.
It is. That's the biggest part of it. So I would right at this second be more likely to go towards PlayStation unless PlayStation do a big misstep, or if Microsoft manage to announce a load of titles that I'm genuinely excited for. If they come out and go, new Crackdown, new Halo, new Fable, I can't think of other massive ones.
Gears of War.
I guess I fell off Gears of War. I loved 1 and 2. I never really did 3 and Judgment and 4. I never touched 4.
4, I can't imagine.
I forgot 4 came out. Apparently 4 is not terrible, but it's a bit of a slog.
Brings the Time Sweeper gets remastered. Banjo-Kazooie.
No, I've already the one that brings me back to Xbox, and I would just abandon you on PlayStation. Viva Pinata. If they announce this weekend, if they announce a Viva Pinata and they're like, that's coming and it's going to be, it's not even coming to Xbox One, it's exclusive to the next one. I'm like, well, I'm sold. That's it. Me done. I'm gonna have to get it.
It was Rare, wasn't it?
It was Rare, but it's Microsoft, so they could do what they want with it. I think Rare, unless they split their team and do different development, Rare are very much set on they are in Sea of Thieves, and they're going to continue to be in Sea of Thieves for now. They're doing nice little nods, like they did the thing earlier this year where they had a Banjo-Kazooie masthead that you could get for your ship to celebrate the 20-year anniversary. But I think Rare will probably stick to Sea of Thieves for now. But Microsoft could give it to any team. They could go look and make a team up of people who used to work at old Rare. Because Rare did split off, because a load of people from Rare went off and formed whichever team it was that went and made Yooka-Laylee. They were made of a load of ex-Rare developers. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of speculation. I'll be excited. We'll cover all of this, obviously. Next week, next Thursday. It'll have been nearly a week since that, because it's on Saturday. But if you want to join the chat and conversation and stuff, you can, of course, join our Discord, snatchybuckles.com/Discord. I'll be watching it live on a second screen while I watch some extra live content from Rooster Teeth, which I don't usually do promotion of other channels, but I think everyone should go watch that because they're really good. Finally, to wrap up the game releases, because this one was quite a lengthy game update, we have the game releases for the next week. November 8th, that's today. I'm going to start doing an overlap. I'm going to start, if there's games that come out on the day of the weekly update, I'm going to cover them on the weekly update and the ones for the next week. Because if a game comes out on the day, you don't want to have to wait until the evening to find out about it. So, November 8th, 2018, Ride 3 comes to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. It's the ultimate motorcycle encyclopedia, a realistic and adrenaline-packed title with more than 230 bikes dedicated to racing fans. So if you like your motorbike games, Ride 3 is the game for you. As I say, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. November 9th, that's tomorrow, you can pick up 1111 Memories Retold for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Live a moving story inspired by real events that where you play on the two sides of the Western Front in Europe. So it's kind of I think it looks like what was it called? Was it Valiant Hearts or something like that? Valiant
Hearts was the weird side scroller.
That was like a 2D one. I think it's that. I guess it's that idea of story where you're playing through a few different people's eyes and stuff, but it looks interesting, and it's coming to everything. Also, if you are an Origin Access Premier member on PC only, you can access Battlefield 5 tomorrow. If you're an Origin Access Basic member on PC or whatever the equivalent on Xbox One is, you can access the 10-hour trial of Battlefield 5 tomorrow. And if you bought the extortionately expensive edition of Hitman 2, you can access that on PS4, Xbox One, and PC tomorrow. And yeah, we went through the reviews earlier. It looks good. We're both excited. But if you didn't buy the expensive version of Hitman, you have to wait until November 13th. That's next Tuesday to pick up Hitman 2. Travel the globe and track your targets across the exotic sandbox locations in Hitman. From sun-drenched streets to the dark and dangerous rainforests, nowhere is safe from the world's most deadly assassin, Agent 47. And also on November 13th, Spyro Reignited Trilogy on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Our favorite purple dragon is back, and he's about to set the realms on fire. Follow Spyro as he sets off on adventures from the 3 original games in remastered stunning HD. I know you're excited.
You're very excited. I'm thinking this wave of remastered games of Crash. We've had Spyro, Medieval, a few little bit more.
I want your opinion, because I know you're a fan of both, but you're also, the nostalgia, I think, will win you over here. What are you more excited for? Spyro or Hitman? It's hard. The fact that they're releasing them, I thought it would be Spyro. Honestly, I'm very excited for Hitman, but I also feel like if I don't play Hitman on release, I'm not going to miss out on anything. No. I'm excited to experience you playing, and I'm going to play through it myself as well. But I'm excited to stream Spyro with you.
I cannot wait,
because
I'm going to be like a schoolboy.
I'm going to be like a vampire, like just leeching off of your nostalgia and excitement. Because I played a bit of Spyro as a kid, but I never got on Spyro. I was more of a Crash kid and all that sort of stuff. I love old school platformers.
I think I had them all. I don't know. I
imagine a lot
Spyro,
of people did.
Medieval.
See, because the games that I was introduced with, Crash was one of the few ones that I got myself, but I was raised on like Monkey Islands and Grand Theft Auto, and on PlayStation 1 I was sitting playing like Legacy of Kain, Blood Omen, and games that were far too old for that sort of thing. Soul Reaver was a good one as well. But yeah, so you're more excited for Spyro. November 14th, the next day, that's Wednesday next week, Fallout 76 hits PS4, Xbox One, and PC. The newest installment of Fallout enters you into the world of Reclamation Day in a post-nuclear America. Played a little bit of the beta. I'll wait and see. Part of me is excited about it, but part of me is also like, I don't know.
I'm gonna wait and see.
I'm gonna wait and see. I like the idea of it. And if I was playing with people, I would definitely be interested.
Also, it depends how long it's gonna last. Like, How quickly is the player base going to just dive off it?
I think it'll probably stay around for a while. There's people who've been playing the beta and they're constantly grabbing for more stuff. They still haven't fixed the PC issue. I mean, the last beta's finished now, but did I link to the GIF or video?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, November 14th next week, other titles releasing. PlayStation are dropping a load of PlayLink titles. We saw some of these at EGX. Word Hunters, Just Deal With It, Chim Party, and Knowledge's Power Decades. They're all dropping as PlayLink titles on PS4, so you can pick those up.
I will say now, you might as well wait if you don't want to get them, because they come as PS Plus titles.
Yeah, that's true. They will. And then on November 15th, that's the date of the next SnatchyBuckles weekly update. If you buy the expensive edition of Battlefield 5, and that's what I'm going to refer to as premium editions, that is the expensive edition. Battlefield 5 early access. If you get the deluxe edition on PS4, Xbox One, and PC, you can start playing from the 15th, which is early. I think the game comes out on like the 20th.
So hold up, you can play Battlefield now if you get it on
tomorrow.
If you have the expensive version.
No.
Of Origin.
Only if you have. Yeah, if you have the premium version of Origin.
So why the fuck do you not get it if you buy the actual version of the game? That's bullshit.
That's what I mean. It's rubbish.
Fair dues if the expensive version of the game allowed you to play early with Origin Prime members.
Yeah.
But bullshit that it's all in your
Origin Prime members get it like 10 days early.
Expensive cash.
I think you have to buy the game as well as having Origin Prime. I don't think you get. I don't know. We might want to Google this, but I don't think you get the game with Origin Prime. It's just if you have it and own the game, you'll get access tomorrow.
That's so annoying.
I could be wrong, but you do get the 10-hour trial with Origin Basic, and that's pretty cool because 10 hours is a nice amount. You could play the game and see if you like it or not. Anyway, I've got a special mention here because I missed these off last week. So at the beginning of the month, every month, we cover the games that are coming to Game Pass, to Xbox Gold, and to PlayStation Plus. But what I didn't mention is if you're a Twitch Prime member, you get access this month, and it's already out, it has been for the past week, to Overcooked, Overload, AER Memories of Old, and The Pillars of the Earth. They're all available for free if you're a Twitch Prime member. And that's the end of the gaming update. But speaking of being a Twitch Prime member, it's a little segue here. Just a reminder to anyone that's watching the stream that you guys can support us by throwing us your subscription. You can use your hard-earned bucks to do that. Or if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can link your Amazon account to your Twitch account for free. You get these games. Every month you get new games. You also get a bunch of in-game stuff for like PUBG and Hearththrown and Overwatch. They do loads of them.
Warframe.
Yeah, Warframe does quite a few every so often. But yeah, they drop those like
Fortnite.
Throughout the month, which is really nice.
Every major game.
Every major big release.
Competitive.
Anything that's got a prominent scene on Twitch, they tend to do a big tie into it. And if you link your account, you can also take a little bit of that Amazon money that they're just sitting on and throw that our way in the form of a subscription, because that comes as part of your subscription. So on top of the fact you get your next day deliveries, you get your Amazon TV, you can also get these free games and support us here on Twitch. And doing so gets you our thanks at the end of the show, and just moving forward, you get our thanks.
You get that one-day delivery as well. There's so many perks.
Amazon Prime is a good service.
I also got to experience their customer service firsthand again last night.
Oh, the customer service is just the best.
My agent was a little assy.
Okay. Oh, you got a sassy agent.
I got a sassy agent, but I got sassy back. I'll tell you, we're linking, so
okay.
A bit of story time.
A little bit of story time in the middle.
I'd obviously had a few too many gins.
Okay, so this was after that night. Okay, yeah.
So I got home and I didn't have a parcel waiting. It said it was delivered.
Okay.
On my website, it said it was delivered to my house.
This Amazon Logistics, yes?
Nope, UPS.
Oh, so this was a proper courier.
UPS had delivered this parcel to my house.
Okay.
It should be there.
Okay.
No card, no parcel.
Right.
And this is already after it's been delayed.
Yeah.
And wasn't one-day delivery because something had messed up in the Prime. So when you order Prime and you don't quite get it next day.
You don't get it next day. Sometimes you can go on and they'll be like, okay, we'll give you an extra day of Prime.
I rang them on this.
You spoke to them rather than just the text chat.
You can, on the app, go through and do the whole like messaging thing, and you go, call me.
Ah, that's
I was like, call me.
You just did call me. That was a weird choice to make when you were after you had a few drinks.
I wasn't smashed.
That's probably the reason you made that choice, is because you had a few drinks. I feel like any other time you would have been like, let's do text chat and sit and play a game while I'm waiting. But...
It was quite late at night. This was at like 11:30 at night.
Yeah, even so. I feel like there was a lot of that decision was made by the part of your brain that was having fun.
But in his system, he was like, it's ready for collection at your house. I was like, the parcel is not here.
Yeah.
Who am I going to... I don't live with the UPS, man. Where is my parcel? I was like, it's quite shocking being a Prime member that my parcel's nowhere. And he was like, right, I'm sorry, I know you're paying.
Yeah.
Here's 30 days free
You
Prime.
got a month, nice.
Your parcel should hopefully be here tomorrow, if not by the 13th. If not, get back in touch.
Do you know if it arrived yet?
No.
Okay, so
it's
not something you've chased up yet, but it's going to be the 13th. Okay.
I'm going to give them to the 13th, but
otherwise you want another
I've
30 days.
With Amazon customer service, it's fantastic.
Oh, it is. They're very good.
Anything to appease their Prime customers.
Yeah, big time, which is really good. So yeah, that's a selling endorsement of a slightly intoxicated man having a great experience with
such an amazing
with
thing
Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime support. A little tipsy.
And yeah, on top of that, you get free games and you can throw a little bit of that Prime money at us that Amazon's just sitting on. Otherwise, it
helps us grow.
Exactly, helps us continue growing. It supports us, allows us to do bigger and better things. I'd love to get like specific mics just for podcasting, so we don't have a big arm, either table mics or just some little lavalier mic, just a little one that
need
clips.
A new table.
We'd like a new table. Well, we're not asking for things here. We're just saying things that anything that we do from this, it would all be going back into this, if that makes sense. But anyway, that's our little interlude because we don't have a sponsor this time, so that was a perfect amount. Shall we head into the entertainment update?
Let's go.
Okay, first one in the entertainment update. I also like to point out that every time we do the update graphics, we both do a little dance along with the music. Ewan McGregor has joined DC's Birds of Prey. Ewan McGregor, most famous in nerd culture at least, as Obi-Wan in the prequels. I can just refer to him as the prequel. Everyone knows that it's when I refer to the prequels.
He voices Yoda.
No, he plays Obi-Wan Kenobi. He has signed on to the Birds of Prey movie as Black Mask. So anyone that doesn't know who Black Mask is, the character is Roman Sionis, a.k.a. Black Mask. He's a Gotham City crime lord. He's kind of got a similar-ish backstory. He's kind of like the opposite of Bruce Wayne. So while Bruce Wayne loved his parents and then had them taken from him and then eventually went on to end up running the family business,
he hated his parents and got them given to him?
Murdered his parents and took the family business.
Oh, I thought he was going to get given parents.
No. He became the gang leader, Black Mask, after running his family business into the ground. He carved a marble mask out of his father's own coffin.
Why is he burying his dad in a marble coffin?
I guess it's those ones you get in like mortuaries and stuff with a big heavy slab and stuff. So he carved that into a mask that was his black mask. Although later on in the comics, he was in a huge fire and he got horrible burns on his face and he ended up actually looking just like the mask.
Why?
So then he took the mask off.
Every
and didn't
time
use it
I
anymore.
hear Black Mask, I picture Red Skull, but just with the black.
He kind of looks a little bit. Have you? You'll know what Black Mask looks like probably. He's been in the cartoons.
I'll know him. He's
featured in many Batman entertainment properties, including, but not limited to, Rocksteady's Arkham series, and he was also in...
He's Red Skull, but...
It's very much
Red Skull's evil brother.
It's always that interesting, because once he wasn't wearing the mask anymore and it was just his actual face, it makes no sense how he can talk properly without lips. It always confuses me. At least Red Skull, I think... He still had lips in the MCU, if I'm not mistaken. Because it was all just prosthetics. Yeah, he's still got lips. He's just a man with a red... Scully sort of face. This is in the MCU, of course, not in the original comics. But yes, he's appeared in the Arkham series, and he's also appeared in Gotham, as well as animated movies and stuff. But this is the first time he's appeared on the big screen. So, because we've gone through a lot of other villains on the big screen with the old movies, we've already had like the Riddler and Two-Face and
it's nice to see
Bane. A lesser known
popular.
Yeah, no, it's cool. He's still popular for the comic fans, but it means that anyone that's not a comic fan gets to go,
moviegoers will not fucking have a
No, they won't know who he is, and he's an interesting character to go with because he's quite a dark character. Obviously, he killed his parents.
Do you think they'll cover that?
I think maybe, I don't know, if he's already Black Mask, I mean, maybe we just jump straight in.
I think it depends on how
they approach the film.
How the movie is rated, how they approach it.
Well, so McGregor joins Margot Robbie reprising her role as Harley Quinn. She obviously appeared first in 2016's Suicide Squad. Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Huntress and Journey Smollett Bell. I'm probably pronouncing that entirely wrong. But she's playing Black Canary. And it's being directed by Kathy Yan, who has recently just confirmed that Birds of Prey will be an R-rated movie. And it will feature Cassandra Cain, who in the comics is one of the people who becomes Batgirl.
Are they going to have every other DC Bird of Prey in there? Like Hawk Girl and...
I don't think those ones are showing up.
Dove Man and... There's like 6 of
there.
them.
There is a handful of other ones. That
I don't know
appear
why
in it.
DC has a fetish.
They've got a lot of winged creatures that they like.
Bird heroes.
Yeah, birds and bats.
Hawkman and Girl.
Yep.
Dove.
There's Dove, yeah.
Who else is there?
Have you watched the next episode of Titans yet?
Who's the other one that you mentioned in that?
Because I can't remember. I think his name's just like Hawk. I think it's Hawk and Dove, maybe.
Why? Why is that Hawkman and Girl Hawk?
I don't know.
Is it his dad?
I could be wrong. It might not be Hawk. I apologize if I'm upsetting any comic fans out there. I'm not sure. I knew the actor that played him. It was Alan Ritchson, and he was bloody good in it. Alan Ritchson, also known as Adam in Laser Team, as well as other things that he's been in. Are you looking up bird characters from? You're going to be here a long time if you're going through every DC character. They have a hell of a
I thought they were
repertoire.
just going to have like a nice list.
But yeah, Christina Hodson is penning the screenplay for Birds of Prey, and she is also currently working on the standalone Batgirl movie. So that's interesting. So I'm assuming they're going to set her up in Birds of Prey, and then she'll go off and have her own film. And it's being executive produced by Margot Robbie as well, that means she obviously has faith in it. And Margot Robbie, other than the poor, it still made a lot of money, I think, but other than how bad Suicide Squad was, Margot Robbie seems to do quite good films most of the time. Like, I haven't seen many films where I was like, she was terrible in it.
I would put it more to good films than I would bad films.
I can't think of many, other than, like Suicide Squad, I can't think of many films that I actually
even that,
disliked.
She was the best, one of the better parts
Her
of it.
and Will Smith were the best. Well, Captain Boomerang was pretty good as well. Like, I quite like Chai Courtney.
Which was the one that, like, the spoilers, died instantly?
Oh, Slipknot. I can't remember the actor's name, but yeah, that was all like they tried to trick everyone with the trailers because he was in all the marketing stuff and then he just like immediately was gone. I liked that idea, but it was so dumb.
It was executed
the whole film,
so bad.
The whole film was bad, but I don't know.
It's award-winning Suicide Squad.
Moving forward, I'm somewhat excited for what could be with the DC universe. I mean, this Birds of Prey sounds good. Good casting. They're going for an R-rated. So that's DC immediately going, we're going to do what Marvel hasn't yet.
I wonder if that's the route they're going to take. DC, I tend to tailor to more dark.
Well, it is, because also the movies so far have been a lot grittier and darker, but they haven't had that rating.
Of like DC, I would that's what I would tie.
They're all about characters whose parents were killed. They've all got daddy issues.
Like Marvel's quite cheery, well, not
cheery, but
they're a lot more family friendly.
Yeah, they deal a lot more.
They do have R-rated heroes, but I feel like DC is more on the R-rated scale where they fit.
It's easier to throw DC at R-rated. I mean, yeah, Marvel's had success.
More with the universe.
Deadpool and Logan were obviously huge successes. Obviously, they weren't MCU or anything, but they were huge successes. But yeah, overall, DC has a lot of dark stuff going on, and if they outright throw an R rating at that, they could do some really like fucked up stuff.
Yep.
Which they have touched on in comics. Anyone that just wants to go out and read The Killing Joke and see what the Joker did, like it's messed up.
Is the new Joker movie not the shit Jared Leto one?
I don't think they're doing the Jared. I don't think there is.
Hopefully he's been sacked as the Joker and he never gets to act again.
I don't think there's another Jared. There is actually another Jared Leto one. I think he's off playing Morpheus in Morbius. Sorry, I butchered that one. Morbius in The Vampire, which is going to be in the Venom universe. He's off doing that now. I don't think he's attached to any future DC stuff.
Is the new Joker movie R-rated then, have they said?
I think it is.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so they're going, but that Joker movie isn't attached to any other. Whereas this is obviously it's still the same Harley Quinn. So, and then we've also got Suicide Squad 2 in the works.
2 Squad, 2 Suicide.
I think they should just go ballsy with it and just call it Suicide Squad and pretend the last one didn't happen. Just be like, oh look, it's a brand new Suicide Squad movie. It's never happened before.
But it's all right. They'll just do Flashpoint and it'll race my mind.
Absolutely.
Suicide Squad 1.
But yeah, Birds of Prey is set to open February 7th, 2020, because it's 2019 next year. They'll be doing production then. It comes out the year after.
What do you think it's going to be up against? What do you think it's going to be up against in the Marvel?
In February time. Oh,
I don't think
they often do February stuff because I mean Captain Marvel's coming February to March next year.
That's only because.
But was Black Panther not February to March this year?
Maybe.
I think they do. They usually have a February to March, then they have a summer, and then they usually have like a fall. Usually, but this year there wasn't. We didn't have that, did we? What did we get this year? Black Panther, Thor, Ragnarok, and yeah.
No, it was going to be Guardians 3.
Ah, well then they might have a chance.
But
has he literally... Oh, no, this is Birds of Prey I'm talking about, not Suicide Squad 2. I was mixing it up with James Gunn doing...
But there is 3 untitled movie releases. But we do know there is a lot in the works. There's the Black Widow movie in the works.
There's the Black Widow, which is supposed to be coming... That's coming 2020. That'll be one of the untitled ones. So we got Black Widow's coming. We've got the Immortals coming. And...
Is it the Immortals?
Yeah, the Immortals is the next one. It'll be probably in this article that you're going down right now. But yeah, it's the Immortals, and there's something else that's a sequel. Oh, Doctor Strange 2 essentially got confirmed. The Eternals, sorry, not the Immortals.
And Black Widow. That's what it'll be.
That's the 3 ones, yeah. So it's Doctor Strange 2.
Doctor Strange 2.
I'm excited for that. I like Doctor Strange.
And Black Widow.
Although Doctor Strange was a great origin story, I think it took everything that Iron Man 1 did right and took this like arrogant asshole and put him through hell and then let him kind of rebuild and make himself a better person. But I think it was cool because there's lots of magic and I thought there was some cool trippy things to look at. And I actually really like Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One. I thought it was quite a sad thing when they have that moment in the like astral plane when like all the rains stopped and she's saying that like, yeah, I gotta go now. Like,
spoilers. This is like, if you are interested in Avengers 4, please take yourself away.
I was discussing this on stream the other night. I think we should maybe even put this in our like info box. I think we need to make an official like stamp of what classes as spoilers. I think if a movie that was in the cinema is out on DVD now, you're allowed to talk about it because people have had the opportunity to go watch it.
This is a future movie though.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to
you can't spoil a future movie, can you?
Well, it might be. It's slightly up there. But spoilers for A4 that may be or may not be true.
Okay.
Is that Tilda Swinton's actually reprising her role?
Okay. It could just be like a flashback.
I think she's fully maybe coming back.
There has been rumors that they're going to do that with lots of characters. There's been rumors for years that Aaron Taylor Johnson's going to come back as Quicksilver.
They could do it now.
I always thought that they would do it, but they would do it like that Thanos does it just to kill him again in front of Scarlet Witch, like to totally mess with her.
Maybe. But now...
Yeah, we'll see. I would see that come back. I know we already had stuff spoiled. That I saw it resurface the other day. This article came out like a year ago nearly, and it was all about, maybe not a year ago, but it was Sebastian Stan talked about how he was filming and there was all these people there and he was like, I stand on the street and you look left and you've got Michael Douglas and you look right and you've got Michelle Pfeiffer. And then it's resurfaced now where they're like, oh, spoilers, all those characters are coming back. And it's like, well, no duh. Like, you just have to read the comics to know everyone that died in the last film's coming back. And that's not to say that they always follow the comics exactly, but they're going to bring them back. They've already got Spider-Man is like finished filming now. They've already done the next Spider-Man movie.
I don't know. I haven't looked out how much into it, but apparently the title of A4 has already been said in an Avengers, like in a movie in the Marvel universe.
I think I'd seen that, and people are now trying to figure it out.
I've seen a title card where it is Avengers, piss off, Ghost.
That would be the best one. That's what they need to do. But anyway, we're going to keep going forwards. We've got more superhero news. I don't think you've seen these yet. Aquaman character posters have dropped. If you want to pull these up so we can have a little shufty. I still don't know what to think of this. So there's my boy, Willem Dafoe. Exactly.
He looks the double.
Well, because the dude hasn't aged properly. I think he always looked kind of... I think from the age of about 30, he looked like he was in his like 50s. Like he's had a hard life.
Do you think when he gets to like 70, he'll look... 90.
Maybe he jumps every 30 years.
It's like he ages in steps.
But yeah, so that is you just keep them at that zoom. I guess that works nicely. But yeah, so this is
Vulko.
Willem Dafoe as Vulko. They're all very serious. I just wish this film embraced Jason Momoa's kind of island mentality and went like the kind of humor of...
Isn't Aquaman quite a jokey character anyway?
He can be, and it feels like this in Justice League he was very jokey. Well, he's sometimes serious but very jokey. I feel like half of the trailers I've seen for this stuff, it looks like they're trying to do very jokey. They had the whole little bit back and forth where he was talking about he could have just pissed on the thing rather than her like sucking the liquid out of his head. But then all the rest of it looks so serious and it takes itself so seriously, and that's the bit I don't want. It looks like it's going Thor 1 and 2 rather than Thor Ragnarok, where Thor Ragnarok was like, it's a fucking space pirate. Let's just go mental with it.
I do like the suit. The suit does.
Oh, the suit looks badass. I'm glad they went for the classic colors. That's actually very good. And Jason Momoa looks badass as hell. What we got here? That's as the king, or the would-be king. These are the guys that's going to come out of the water. The Black Manta. Yeah, Princess Mera. I keep forgetting that she's in this movie. Like, I keep forgetting that Nicole Kidman is actually in this film because I think she's only shown in the trailers like once.
Yeah, I didn't even realize she was in it.
Yeah, like I'm more than happy to see more and more Amber Heard. Don't get me wrong. I'm more than happy to see more and more Amber Heard, but I forgot Nicole Kidman was in it. I mean, Nicole Kidman looks great. And then we got King Orm. I think that's it.
But yeah, I do get the whole very serious.
It's so serious. They should have gone tongue-in-cheek, silly, and made fun of it. Yes, Shazam, exactly. So yeah, it's directed by James Wan. If I'm not mistaken, James Wan is the director of the Fast and Furious, the past few movies, so it's strange that he's jumped from that to this. I could be wrong at who I'm thinking of. Starring Jason Momoa, Amber Heard, Nicole Kidman, Willem Dafoe, Dolph Lundgren, and Patrick Wilson, of which I think we just saw all the posters for them there. And it hits theaters the 14th of December in the UK and the 21st of December in the US.
Is it bad that I heard the name Patrick Wilson and I was like, oh, it must be a relation to Owen Wilson?
No, Owen Wilson's brother is Luke Wilson, which you'd recognize immediately if you saw him.
Does he just look double?
He looks very similar. He's also been probably in a lot of films you've seen. The next story we have is the Shrek. I called it the Shrekverse. The Shrekverse is getting rebooted. It's very odd. So, a report from Variety announced that Shrek and its spin-off, Puss in Boots, are being rebooted by Illumination.
What does Illumination do?
They are more famous for Despicable Me and Minions and Life of Pets.
Oh, yes, because that's what caught my attention as well with it, because it's
not DreamWorks, it's Illumination.
Despicable Me is fantastic.
I love Despicable Me. I think I like Despicable Me 2 even. I can't remember which one I like more. I think I might like Despicable Me 2 more. I also quite like Minions. Minions was fun. It was very lighthearted. I like a good kids animated.
That comedy will go with Shrek.
Oh, absolutely. And I think they'll bring... So the interesting part of it's Chris... I'm just going to see if I can pronounce his name correctly. Melandrani? That sounds right? Chris Melandrani. The CEO of Illumination is in charge... I saw you shake your head at me there. Is in charge of the reboot, which means new stories and new animation. But a quote from Melandrani, which with regards to keeping the same voice talent, when you look back on those vocal performances, they're awesome. And while you certainly could make a case for a complete re-innovation, I find myself responding to my own nostalgic feelings of wanting to go back to those characterizations. So he's talking about keeping the same voice cast but rebooting the franchise.
It sounds like it's a weird soft reboot.
Kind of. I wonder if they will just fully hard, they'll hard reboot it and they'll just bring
they've just pushed the reset button just a tad, just boop.
They kind of played with that storyline in Shrek 4. I think I've only seen it once, but
I honestly don't think I've seen Shrek 4.
Shrek 4 is the Rumpelstiltskin one, and it's all time travel, and he goes back to the first movie, and it's all like it's the whole thing.
Oh yeah, definitely haven't seen it then.
I don't know. Maybe I dreamed that one. I feel like I've seen it, but only once. There is no word on how the reboot will take place, or how this affects Shrek 5, because Shrek 5 was previously announced to drop next summer. But Forever After was. That's the...
when I typed Shrek 4, that's what comes up.
Yeah, no, it is. It's Forever After, because it was Shrek 1, Shrek 2, Shrek the Third, because that was the one with Justin Timberlake as King Arthur.
Yeah.
And then Shrek the Fourth. Sorry, not Shrek the Fourth. Shrek Forever After. But yeah, I don't know how this is going to affect Shrek 5. There's no word on that yet. Are they going to cancel Shrek 5?
They might get canned.
It's the fact that it's supposed to be coming next summer. They've probably spent years working on it, and now they're going to go, now we're just going to reboot instead.
Unless Shrek 5 is the reboot.
They could use it as a stepping stone, yeah, absolutely. So Shrek first burst onto the big screen in 2001, 17 years ago.
That was forever ago.
I remember seeing it in cinema, and it was, goddamn, Shrek 1 is so good. Shrek 2 is probably the best sequel. In my opinion, Shrek 2 is maybe as good, if not even better than the first movie.
Definitely.
Such a good film. But Shrek 1, it was great because I remember
it was great for kids and adults at the time.
It was one of those, like Toy Story, it was a great example of how you can do an animated film for kids that adults could thoroughly enjoy all the dirty humor in it, but it's not too over the top. Illumination, which are most famous for Despicable Me and Minions, were formed by Melandrani after he left 20th Century Fox Animation and Blue Sky Studios in 2007. He was the executive producer on the Ice Age films, Robots, and Horton Hears a Who. Then he set up Illumination and did Despicable Me, The Lorax, Minions, Life of Pets.
Damn, that kid has had a good run of movies.
Illumination's parent company, NBC Universal, bought DreamWorks in August 2016 and appointed Melandrani as to oversee both of the studios. So he's got a hand in both DreamWorks and this, but it's just interesting that they're not produced, because DreamWorks are obviously still doing stuff. They've been doing the shows on Netflix. I think DreamWorks are still fully in charge of How to Train Your Dragon 3, but it probably explains why that film was delayed so much. It was supposed to come out last year, I think. But yeah, so this guy, he's good. I feel like this guy has almost the same rise to fame as, I'm totally blanking on his name now, but he is the guy behind Toy Story and Pixar and everything. He's the guy at the top. You would know him if you see, because he's in all he always wears the awesome, like, they're almost like a Hawaiian shirt, but it's all like Toy Story print, and they always look awesome. But yeah, I'd never heard of Chris Melandrani until I'd looked this. John Lasseter. Yeah, that's it. That's the person I'm thinking. You can even see in his picture there, he's got the cool shirts on. Yeah, I don't have a little window. No, I was making sure I didn't. Next story, because it links straight into it. Super Mario Brothers the movie. Chris
Why does this
Melandrani
need to be done again?
isn't happy remaking one franchise. He has his sights set on Super Mario Brothers. So the classic Nintendo game about a pair of Italian plumbers who must rescue Princess Peach from the villainous Bowser has already inspired one movie back in 1993, though most of us do choose to pretend it never happened.
Wasn't there a TV series as well?
There was a
live-action TV series?
I don't remember a live-action TV, but there was definitely an animated movie, I think. But it was like 2D animation back in the day. Yeah, look. Oh, yeah, TV show. I don't think it was live action. Yeah, this is the animated one I was thinking of.
No, Super Mario Bros. Super Show. It was live action as well.
I do not remember that ever happening. It was a... when did it... Yeah, look it up. I want to see... We're gonna do a little bit of research real quick. Oh, my days. How long did it run for? It aired until... It aired for like
52 episodes.
The intro was live action. Oh, so was it only the intro that was live action?
Oh,
we're hearing this from chat. Thank you very much, Ninja, for keeping us on track. This is actually a fun story that I pulled up while doing a little research for this one. The original movie. Do you ever see the movie?
I've seen parts and clippings of it,
and
I refuse to watch it.
I think as a kid, I remember actually liking it because as a kid, you don't really know what's good. So you kind of go, oh, it's fun. There's like weird... It was really dark. Like, it was weird how dark it was. There was like... Yoshi was like a genuine, like, weird mutant dinosaur or something. It was so messed up. And it was all in the sewers, and I can't remember fully. John Leguizamo, who played Luigi in the movie, obviously he's famous for... He's been in countless movies and comedies and everything at this point. He said that he and co-star Bob Hoskins drank whiskey between takes to dull the pain of being in the movie.
Oh, it's such a bad movie from the clips I've seen.
It's not a good film. But
I'm surprised it hasn't been like removed to like
just
movie
from memories.
Horror.
Melandrani has said that I like that this was not done well the first time. I think that's more exciting and more worthy than simply making another version of a film that was done incredibly well to begin with. Which that's a good way of looking at it, because you can go. Actually, the way you can look at it is go, no matter how bad we do it, it's never going to be as bad as that.
Well, they could get Yuri Bolt as a director.
Well, yeah, exactly. But he's working closely with Shigeru Miyamoto, the designer and producer behind Super Mario Brothers. He says, we are keeping him front and center in the creation process of this film. I've rarely seen that happen with any adaptation where the original creative voice is being embraced, like we're embracing Miyamoto. There's a history in Hollywood of people believing that they know better than the people responsible for a property. I've seen that mistake before. So he's going like, we want to have this guy on board all the way along because he knows Mario, he made Mario.
Resident Evil.
Wait, did Resident Evil have anyone attached that was... No, exactly. That's what I mean. So that's another bad example. Lots of them, I mean...
It's a good, bad example because they are good movies to watch.
Oh, they're fun, but they're not... Yeah, they're not good movies, but they're exactly. But yeah, this, I think, has a chance to actually be good. And obviously, it's being made by Illumination, so it's going to be an actual animated film. They're not going after that live action.
It should never have been done live action.
It's apparently a priority development at Illumination, and it could be in theaters as early as 2022. So 3 years away. Not bad.
I wonder if we'll get footage. Test footage.
At some point we'll see something, I guess. But yeah, that I'm intrigued by that. I feel like this guy, when I was reading more and more about Melandrani, he's got so many things. He's working very close.
He's doing hands in all of the pies.
Well, he's doing an original film with Pharrell Williams right now because he's really close with him, because obviously Pharrell did the song for
Minions.
This Big On Me 2, I think. Was it Happy he did that for?
Yes.
Yeah,
possibly.
he did that. He's also the narrator in The Grinch.
Is he?
I didn't know that. I was having a look because all I knew was Benedict Cumberbatch. It's got a massive cast, and Pharrell Williams is the narrator.
Pharrell Williams pops up in the weirdest and strangest places you would ever expect him to
He really does. But yeah, so he's working on an original film with him as well.
I'm expecting to see him in like EastEnders or Corrie. Behind the bar pulling pints.
Next story in the entertainment update: Walking Dead expansion plans have been revealed. So they've been talking about AMC's been talking about expanding a lot of properties lately, and the expansion plans for Walking Dead. The minor spoilers to anyone who hasn't got caught up with The Walking Dead yet. Andrew Lincoln, who has officially departed AMC, departed AMC's flagship series this past Sunday, has signed on to a trio of big budget feature-length movies.
I'm curious.
Yeah, so the three movies...
Enjoy Andrew Lincoln in The Walking Dead?
He's one of the best parts of the show.
Definitely.
He really is great as Rick, and apparently he loves playing Rick, and he loves The Walking Dead.
Fingers crossed Carl doesn't make it.
Well, minor spoilers. the 3 movies are going to be set after the events of the series Walking Dead, at least where it's up to right now. So that's essentially confirmation he doesn't die. He leaves the show. From what I gather, he drives off into the sunset sort of thing.
Well, do you know how he actually leaves the show?
No, I haven't looked into this. But I do know that he's alive. So spoilers. But you're going to get that idea when you know that they're making 3 films set after that point. He's obviously, unless it's 3 films following him around as a zombie.
It's so bizarre. Why is the main character...
To put him in 3 films.
Who is the main character in the comics.
I think the show could end in the next season or 2.
Who has a big arc.
Yep.
They didn't just kill off him. Well, they killed off the successor to the whole thing.
Yep.
When he essentially would depart the comic book storyline.
We all know how well shows go when they get rid of their main person. I'm looking at you, The Office. As much as I didn't mind the final season and even before that, but the show was never as good without Steve Carell.
But it just doesn't make sense to now go, right, he's coming off the TV show where he's the focus of everything that happens in the comic and how it gets along. To then go, right, we're taking him from here to do a movie that's set after the events of the TV show, which will just confuse people even more.
Big time. But I think you'll probably go to like the other side of the country or something. It'll be something like that where they'll be like, oh, he's left and he's gone over here, and yeah, he's going to go as far away as he can from Alexandria or whatever it is.
A method of transport that you would not expect to even still be in the Walking Dead universe.
Does he piggyback on a zombie?
He just has all 4 wheels.
We'll avoid spoiling it for any. I've already spoiled that he's alive, so we'll avoid spoiling how he does it. He can... My phone's gone.
Put that on the table.
I know I do. Sorry, guys. That was a cool picture of Spider-Man on my phone there. So, the first of the 3 movies is currently being penned by Scott M. Gimple, who is the original showrunner for The Walking Dead. He
Season
left,
1?
I think he did the first, 4 or 5 seasons, and then he left.
Season 1 was phenomenal.
He did Season 1. And now
Imagine if it kept that tone and pace
the whole
of
thing.
1.
Yeah. And the fact it was only was it only 8 episodes or something?
Maybe 10 tops?
But production is set for the first movie to begin in 2019. Lincoln chose to leave the show due to having a young family who live in the UK. He wanted to spend time with his kids.
6?
Season 6
episoson in season 1.
That's what they should do. They should do it like the BBC. Just keep them short and tight and great stuff.
So well.
But yeah, so basically the filming of the show and potentially the movies is going to take place in the US. But he's got a young family. I guess movies you can shoot for 2 months and then be done.
Home. TV series you're out for
a lot longer. 4 or
5 months at a time.
Exactly. Also from AMC, this is a big one that broke this week. Excuse me. AMC have announced a Breaking Bad movie. So first of all, it was announced, and there was very few details. There was a tagline around it about a guy that had been that's been kidnapped and he's trying to escape or something like that. And everyone was like, "Oh, I wonder if it's going to be Jesse. Like maybe he got caught again." Minor spoilers to anyone who hasn't finished Breaking Bad, but the show finished in 2013 or something, so it's a while ago now. But it has now been confirmed that it's going to be following Jesse Pinkman as he blazes a trail away from that horrifying finale that we were left with. Series creator Vince Gilligan is writing and executive producing the project, but it's unknown if he's going to be set to direct. He made all of Breaking Bad.
Did he make Better Call Saul?
I think he's an executive producer, but no, I think it's someone else doing that. Which is just, I watched the first season of Better Call Saul and I couldn't get into it because I was like, he's not the guy that I want from that. I know it's a prequel, so...
He's not the character that I wanted a prequel for.
Well, no, I like the character in the show, but I was like, I want that character, whereas we're seeing his journey to becoming that character, and I'm like, I don't care. But that's just my opinion. I know a lot of other people love it.
The chicken shop man. I can't remember his name now. The guy that's in everything.
Yeah. In the series finale, Jesse goes through some... I won't spoil all of it, but he goes through some horrible shit. And despite his eventual escape from his captors, his fate was intentionally left ambiguous. You didn't actually know exactly what was going to end up happening to him. But no title or release date has been set for the movie yet, but production is expected to begin in New Mexico soon. They're actually going back and filming it in Albuquerque again. So, yeah, that'll be... I think it was at Albuquerque? I think it was.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's interesting. I like Breaking Bad. I wasn't a big fan of Better Call Saul. I think it was just too much of a slow burn for me. Maybe I'll go back and check out Season 2 at some point. I know Season 3's done now and stuff, but...
is it still getting made, is it?
Yeah, it's still... Because in the UK, we get it on Netflix. But yeah, the next one is actually a trailer for us to check out, because I don't know if you know anything about this, but I've been following it quite closely.
It doesn't ring a bell.
So this is Deadly Class. This is the second trailer because the show actually starts not too long. We'll have a little bit of...
choke in the face of killing. You all committed the cardinal sin. You were caught.
What is this?
Detention.
Oh, it's from the Russo brothers.
It is.
Creative problem solvers to master the deadly
Obviously,
arts.
that's Wong from.
Marcus, the new rat.
Well, Infinity War as well.
Rain check on the celebration. You're at the bottom of the food chain, like us.
You ain't got a rep. People will see you weak, and they come at you.
I've just noticed this is on sci-fi.
Has a weakness.
It is, but sci-fi do have some alright stuff sometimes.
I'm Maria.
Krypton's supposed to be quite good.
Huh?
You better be careful. He's gonna kill you.
That guy's all talk.
Teen drama things are quite popular right now.
Is this going to be the angsty Riverdale?
Maybe.
Safer to be a dick.
It's a cold, cruel world.
It also feels like potentially
You
the
can't
R-rated
survive
Riverdale.
without family.
It's an interesting
Even if they are
premise.
liars and murderers.
Yeah. So I mean, I've got the premise ready. So it's set in 1987. It's based on a comic book. And it follows the story of a new student to King's Dominion Atelier of the Deadly Arts, an elite prep school hidden in San Francisco, attended by the kids of mass murderers and notorious organized crime families. The lead character, Marcus, played by Benjamin Wadsworth, is living on the streets before being recruited by Master Lin, played by Benedict Wong, the ruthless headmaster of King's Dominion. Once at school, Marcus meets all kinds of deadly students, both friend and foe, and it starts on January 16th, 2019, which isn't far away.
It's interesting. Sci-fi has a little bit wary, but I'll give it out
Yeah,
at some point.
sci-fi can have all right. I do need to check out Krypton because people keep saying that it is actually one of the better comic book shows right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt because it's all just if it's the fact it's made by the Russo brothers that makes me immediately interested. But yeah, I thought that was worth checking out. Next story. You'd only just read this when we were going through the notes earlier. Kingsman 3 will be EXE free. So Taron Egerton has
Did
announced.
you purposely make that rhyme?
Kind of when I wrote it. Taron Egerton, who played Eggsy in Kingsman 1 and 2, has announced that he will not feature in next year's Kingsman 3. While the first two films featured the protagonist Eggsy, which played by Egerton, as the main character, the third title in the series is now apparently Eggsy free. Speaking with Yahoo, Egerton said, "I don't know how hot off the press this is, but I think I'm allowed to say it, but I'm not in the next Kingsman movie. That doesn't mean that I won't be in Kingsman ever again. I was with Matthew Vaughn as little as a few days ago. We're still very much in business together, but his next journey in that world doesn't involve me. His idea for the new one is incredibly exciting. I'm sad that I won't be on that journey with him, but it's not the last you've ever seen of you've seen of Eggsy." I added the ever in there. So yeah, this is kind of a contrast to previous comments that Matthew Vaughn made, where he said that the third entry was going to be the inclusion of the Harry, Hart, and Eggsy relationship.
Eggsy's possibly one of the best.
He's such a cool character as well. He's because it's also one of those guys that you can kind of almost relate to a little bit, especially us being British and stuff. You're like, oh, it's kind of cool. First one had a pretty cool soundtrack for people of our generation, I thought anyway. And some of the best action. I know some people hated it; they thought it was just too over the top and silly. But the church scene,
that church scene is fantastic.
Anything,
no matter how much you look at it, it still beats anything.
It's so good. Kingsman 2 I didn't like as much, but it had some cool action scenes. Just the overall plot I didn't feel worked as well. It almost felt like if I didn't know any better, it wasn't a Matthew Vaughn film. It was someone else had come along and made it. But yeah, previously Vaughn commented that a Kingsman spin-off titled The Great Game was in the works, set as a prequel in the 1900s with Ralph Fiennes rumored to be attached. So maybe this is going to become the third film now, and they're going to make Eggsy's final be a different. Maybe it's not so much the third film, but instead of doing Kingsman 3, they're actually going to go and do the prequel next, and then do Kingsman 3 later. I wonder, because he outright says that he's sad he's not going to be in the next one. It makes me wonder if it's been more of a scheduling thing more than anything, because it sounds like he wants. Well, he's going to be in Robin Hood next, but I'm assuming he's got things in the works that we don't know about yet, because he is being in more and more films all the time. So I wonder if it's been a scheduling thing and they can't line it up, so that's why they've gone, okay, we're going to do the prequel instead. I don't know. It's
a bit late because it releases next year.
Yeah, I did write that one in. The Kingsman 3 set for release next year, but they haven't actually started. Maybe it's set for production next year, and maybe I've got that written wrong.
I was going to say, if it's the case of that it comes out next year, that's very late to leave it.
Yeah, no, they would have
managed to film. Where are they filming that? In a bunker?
Unless they've secretly filmed it all already and we just don't know anything.
It's all underground. Really, underneath our feet is Avengers 4.
Kingsman 2 announced that Elton John was in it like a year before it came out, so I feel like we would have heard something at this point if there was any production. But yeah, so that was Kingsman 3. What time are we on? We'll leave it. We'll cut that one off. Anyone wants to go check out, there is a new Mowgli, The Legend of the Jungle trailer, which is the Andy Serkis one that's been in hiatus for years because they had to push it as far away from the Disney one as possible because the Disney one was excellent. I'm not a big fan of the way this one looks. I think the CGI looks weird. The animals' faces look like they've mapped a human face onto it and it looks kind of creepy.
Of course it is. It's Andy Serkis.
Well, it's all motion capture. It's got a phenomenal cast in there. I think I took note of some of the names.
Is this the one with I was going to say
Benedict Cumberbatch is playing
Scarlett Johansson in?
No, that was the Disney one.
Right.
You've already seen that one. Andy Serkis is the director of this one. It's featuring Christian Bale, Kate Blanchett, Benedict Cumberbatch, Naomi Harris, and Serkis himself, as well as a few other characters and stuff. It seems to focus more on him going back to the human village and learning things there and learning the different. They seem to be trying to push that side of the story more
instead
than
of being
just the direct.
Child.
Yeah. Although it looks like it's still got the animal child's side of it, but it has a short theatrical run that's very limited. It's only going to be in some theaters on November 29th, so this month, and then it's going to be on Netflix on December 7th because Netflix bought the rights to it. It was originally going to be a big theatrical thing, but yeah, Netflix went and bought. I feel at that point it'd probably been finished for like a year now, and they're just like, we need to get it out because the more they sit on it, the more money they're bleeding because it cost them so much to make. But yeah, that was the end. I do recommend checking the trailer out for it. But that was the end of the entertainment releases. We'll wrap it up with... Sorry, that was the end of the entertainment update. We'll wrap it up with the entertainment releases. Getting ahead of myself. This Friday, November 9th, in both the UK and the US, you can go and catch Overlord, starring Wyatt Russell, Ian DeCastiga, and Pilo Asbeck. This is the one... If I gather it right, it's Call of Duty Zombies. It's like a World War II film with zombies. If I get the idea right, the poster is the bit that looks really cool to me, so it intrigues me, and the fact that Ian DeCastiga's in it, who you would know as Fitz from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh.
I'm immediately like, if he's in it, I want to go check it out.
Yeah, it could be pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. So, it comes out in the UK and the US simultaneous release date. Also, a simultaneous release date, The Grinch, which we just mentioned before, starring Benedict Cumberbatch, Pharrell Williams, and Rashida Jones, as well as a huge other cast. I would be here all day if I was listing all of them. It's an animated film. You know the drill. So that's out tomorrow, November 9th. In the UK only, Kin. It's already a film that's been out in the US, starring Dennis Quaid, Jack Rayner, Carrie Coon, and James Franco. And also in the UK, we get Wildlife, starring Carrie Mulligan, Jake Gyllenhaal, Ed Oxenbould, and Bill Camp. And that one, I think Wildlife is directed by Paul Dano, which immediately makes me excited because I really like Paul Dano. The UK only also gets Won't You Be My Neighbor, which is the documentary which explores the life lessons and legacy of the iconic children's television host Fred Rogers. It's already been out in the States. It's something that's way beyond our generation, but a lot of kids grew up with Will You Be My Neighbor?
No idea.
What was it? Yeah, Won't You Be My Neighbor, was it? Yeah. Oh, no, Want You to Be My Neighbor is the name of the Tom Hanks movie that they're currently making. The original show was... We didn't really have this in the UK, if I'm not mistaken. You're just looking through all stuff to do with Fred Rogers. Is it not just called Mr. Rogers' House or something? The original show. But anyway, they're doing the documentary about it, which looks quite interesting. It's coming to the UK. It's already out in the States. You've already been able to check that one out. But if you're in the US, you get tomorrow, the 9th of November, The Girl in the Spider's Web, starring Claire Foy, Sylvia Hooks, and Stephen Merchant. This is the next in the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series.
I can't remember if I've seen that. I feel
Which
like I
ones?
have. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
There was a few of them because there was the original Swedish release, and then they remade it with Daniel Craig. Yeah.
So is this the follow-on from the Daniel Craig one?
There's been 2 of those so far. This is the 3rd, I believe.
Has there?
Yeah, there was look them up. There's the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Then there was the girl. I'm forgetting the second one. That was the 2011 one. Yeah. So does it have sequels? Yeah. There was the girl who played with fire. The Wicked Hornet's Nest. Yeah. So this is the 4th one, right?
So
yeah, Girl in the Spider's Web.
Is Daniel Craig not in it anymore?
Not anymore. No. I think does his character not die or something? I can't remember. Spoilers. But yeah, that one comes out in the US tomorrow, and the other US only release. This is the old one. We watched the trailer for it earlier. A movie called Time Freak. It's really interesting because it's only out in like the US and Russia. It's got no other
And,
international release. I think Netflix are going to pick it up.
European East, like
Yeah, like that side of Europe.
yeah.
But it is starring Sophie Turner, Asa Butterfield, and Skylar Gisondo. It's an interesting one because it's quite a big cast, but then the movie looks like it was a straight-to-TV Netflix production.
I'm sticking with what I said. It's aiming at that teen market to get like.
It's definitely a teen. It's definitely a teen market, but
especially
there's
with
so
them,
many teen stuff out. Why would they make this?
But especially with that cast.
Yeah, big time.
The one where they all swoon over them.
I just feel like it's already, like, I don't know. It's just a weird one because all of these stars are bigger than this film. Like Sophie Turner probably has quite a few options now because of Game of Thrones and X-Men. Like she's done the blockbuster with X-Men. She's done the TV with Game of Thrones.
They threw all of their all of their budget at them.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, that is all of the films. You can check out Time Freak tomorrow in the US. There's nothing else coming out next week that I could find other than like tiny little art house things.
It's getting to that period where they start to dull down, ready for December. But
ready for the December
still,
releases. Well, there's a few more coming this
much in
next week. I believe it's next Friday. We get the next Fantastic Beasts, if I'm not mistaken. But that'll be in the next weekly update because that's not in this next week window. But if you fancy staying home this weekend, there's a few new Netflix releases. This week I tried to look if like Hulu have a lot of Hulu originals and stuff, but they only release them. They're very much more spread out. Netflix seem to do it every week almost, whereas it's a lot more spread out. I was trying to look for other because not everyone's on Netflix. You could have Hulu, you could have
Amazon Prime.
I couldn't find any new Amazon Prime either. But
You do these, and I do know what is coming.
Friday, November 9th, that's tomorrow. You can watch The Outlaw King. I think it's actually just titled Outlaw King. I added the. Starring Chris Pine, Stephen Delaney, and Rebecca Robin. It is the story, a true David and Goliath story of how the great 14th century Scottish outlaw king, Robert the Bruce, used cunning and bravery to defeat and repel the much larger and better equipped occupying English army. I didn't think this is interesting because A, I love Chris Pine, and B, it's going to be interesting seeing Chris Pine, who is from Los Angeles, play a very famous Scottish person and not mess it up. I feel like this, but I also feel like they wouldn't have made it if he couldn't do a convincing. He looks Scottish good in the trailer. Accent. I watched the trailer. The trailer looks good. And I think I like Chris Pine because I think he doesn't get enough credit for being quite a diverse actor. A lot of people think of Captain Kirk in the Star Trek reboot stuff when they think of Chris Pine, whereas I think of Smoking Aces when he played a kind of a hillbilly assassin that was a bit mental, and he shoots and kills Ben Affleck's character, and then using his hand moves the corpse of Ben Affleck's character's mouth to make him say sorry, and he says that he forgives him. He's such a messed up character in it. And I was like, okay, this guy can act. Like, this guy can play more than just pretty boy action hero. Because he also looks awful in the role. Like, he's got the full mullet, like real redneck. He's got like his three brothers that they're probably his brothers and his dad sort of thing. Is it Smoking Aces I'm thinking of? It wasn't a fun. Yeah, it is Smoking Aces I'm thinking of. It wasn't a well received movie.
Ryan Reynolds.
It is,
and it's like the weird.
And Ray Liotta. I really liked it. A lot of people hated it. I really liked it. I thought it was.
I think I remember it, and I kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. Lots of good action. On Tuesday, November 13th, Loudon Wainwright III, surviving twin Grammy-winning singer Loudon Wainwright III, reflects on the close but complicated relationships between fathers and sons in this intimate evening of music and storytelling from executive producer Judd Apatow. I don't mind Loudon Wainwright. I couldn't say I'm a fan, but I know he's had a long relationship with Judd Apatow. He's popped up in his films all the time, and he's got obviously his own, he's a Grammy-winning singer and stuff. So yeah, that is on Tuesday, November 13th, on Netflix. You can check that out. What did you have to add? You had something else that's coming.
On this Sunday the 11th.
Sunday the 11th?
It's David Attenborough's new TV show, Dynasties.
Ah, of course it is.
Everybody loves Attenborough.
Well, I wonder when the States get that.
I would imagine it might be.
Would you think he'll do a simulcast on BBC America?
And BBC America. If not, it looks fantastic. It's just more Attenborough narrating nature.
Yeah, well, you can't go wrong with that, really.
You can't.
Absolutely
I would have Attenborough read me the dictionary.
So is that before or after Doctor Who?
Doctor Who's having its time frame moved.
What?
This is how big Attenborough is to the BBC.
Well, they're going Doctor Who out of the way.
Doctor Who is
hold my beer.
Doctor Who is moving forward.
Okay, so we're getting that a little earlier.
Attenborough is about 8, and I think they've also moved Strictly Come Dancing in the UK, which all the old people will be raging that they've got to stay up later.
Yeah. But that is the end of the entertainment update. Check out that new David Attenborough show. What was it called?
Dynasties. I think it covers like families of creatures, if I remember from the trailer.
That's
like
cool.
it's gonna follow the actual dynasties of a group.
That's really cool. Well, yeah, check that one out this Sunday. All those are the Netflix titles. Or head to the cinema. Check out some new movies, regardless of where you are in the world. This has been the entertainment update and the SnatchyBuckles weekly update for November 8th, 2018. It's been good. We've went through a lot of stuff. We've ran quite long. Yeah, really long actually. But it has been good. I enjoy it as always.
And next week's going to be just as long. With
it's going to be packed out by XO18. As I said, head on over to our Discord, snatchybuckles.com/Discord. If you want to catch the show live in future, if you're watching this on youtube.com/SnatchyBuckles or via your favorite podcasting services, you can head on over to twitch.tv/SnatchyBuckles and click follow. And of course, if you want to support us here, support the show, allow us to do bigger and better things here on Twitch, you can of course do so by tipping, by cheering, or the easiest way to do it is by subscribing. You get a bunch of benefits, including the ad-free viewing experience. You can do it for free if you're an Amazon Prime member, as I mentioned earlier. And I'm currently looking into the idea of doing special new emotes for higher tiers and stuff as well. So that could be coming down the road. But I think that is I'm going to knock our outro music on for now. There we go. Let's see if we hear it this week, because we had that little hiccup last week where it kind of went all a bit funky.
Yeah,
I can hear it now. I can hear it now. But yeah, that has been the SnatchyBuckles weekly update. We hope you've enjoyed it. If you're listening via podcast services, thank you so much for subscribing. And same for YouTube as well. Subscribe on there. You'll get the video every week. But yeah, I think that is it. Thank you very much to everyone. And we will catch you
in the next update.